We are set to play baseball. If it's raining, it is so fine that it will not be a factor. If it stays no worse than this for the rest of the night, it will be Ender Inciarte, the Gold Glove winner and All-Star, leading things off for the Atlanta Braves. And our first pitch presented by Belterra Park, Cincinnati. One amazing place to play. So Mahle facing Inciarte, Albies, and Freeman, the top third of Brian Schnitker's batting order. And the right-hander out of Newport Beach, California, steps on and looks in. And third baseman Alex Blandino already in shallow, and the pitch on the way. And that's a strike, and this game is underway. It is a balmy 56 degrees here in downtown Cincinnati, just like we like it. The 0-1 pitch, and a swing and a foul ball straight back, and Inciarte in a hole at no balls and two strikes. C.B. Buckner is our plate umpire. At first base is Brian O'Nora. At second base, Field and Culbreth. At third base, Chris Conroy. And that pitch is strike three call, and see you later.
When Mahle's on, he's painting the corners, and boy, did he carve up the Chicago Cubs in his best start this season. And that, at least one at bat into the game, looked exactly the same thing. That was a front door fastball that broke back into the inside part of the strike zone. And a good start for Mahle. And,
of course, Mahle with the advantage tonight. The Braves have never seen him. Here is Ozzie Albies, a second baseman, and he is spinning on the first pitch, and that was a fastball up. Young man batting .288 who got off to a very slow start as far as the season was concerned. 2 for his first 20, and since that time has been batting .343. And a foul ball off the bat handle. And Mahle, indeed, coming out of that bullpen throwing bullseyes. He punches out Inciarte on 3 pitches and now is ahead of Albies at 2 strikes and nothing. The Braves are 12-9 after last night's loss. The Reds are 4-18. And the wind-up by the right-hander and the pitch, and it's way high for a ball. The inner defense for Jim Riggleman, Jeoy Votto, and Scooter Gennett, and Jose Peraza and Alex Blandino at first, second, short, and third. Duvall, Hamilton, Winker, left, center, and right in the outfield. Tucker Barnhart catching. And here's a 1-2 pitch. And that's a swing and a miss, and that's back-to-back.
Took some off. Just a beautiful start for Mahle. And working with Barnhart behind the plate, originally Devin Mesoraco was in the starting lineup. He was scratched late with a stiff neck.
2 men up, 2 men down, and here's Freddie Freeman, a young man who has stamped himself in the last few years as one of the better players in this league and a real gamer. I mean, he's in that lineup day in and day out, and even if he's hurt, he more often than not is playing. He's batting .293 right now with a couple of home runs and 15 runs batted in, and really has not gotten in full stride yet. When he gets things tuned in, just like the Reds' Joey Votto, a swing and a miss, and it's going to be another big year for this man. 1-1 the count with 2 out and nobody on base. The Reds shift to the pull side for the left-handed batting Freeman. And Mahle lets it go, and that's a line drive to center, and Hamilton has it and hits the deck on that wet turf in center, but hangs on. So strikeout, line out. Reds coming to bat against the right-hander Brandon McCarthy. Well, we move on to the bottom of inning number 1, where it'll be a 34-year-old veteran on the mound tonight for the Atlanta Braves, and that would be Brandon McCarthy. He is a guy who's had parts of 13 or all of 13 major league seasons with 7 different ball clubs. Now finds himself as an Atlanta Brave. He was with the L.A. Dodgers last year, where he was 6-4. And his start for this Braves ball club has been nothing short of sensational. 3-0 with a 2.91 ERA. Going to work on Jesse Winker back in the lineup tonight and batting in that leadoff spot. And the right-handed batting O'Nora lets it go, and it's off the plate outside, ball 1. My apologies for giving you the wrong lineup for the umpires. Brian O'Nora's got the plate. Field and Culbreth at first, Chris Siegel at second, and Chris Conroy over at third. Check swing, and that's a call strike. Winker at .296 batter. He's knocked in 6 runs, a couple of extra base hits, both doubles. Back in the box and waiting on McCarthy And the pitch coming, and that one is hanging up and outside, and the count goes to 2 balls and 1 strike. We had a rather heavy, if you will, mist falling while we were in the commercial break between the top and the bottom of this inning. And while it's still misting, not nearly as hard as it was a few minutes ago. The pitch on the way, and that swung on and foul. However, very uncertain turf without any question in the outfield. And naturally, they've had the infield covered for hours now. And at the outfield, and we saw evidence of that when Billy Hamilton hit the deck, grabbing Freddie Freeman's line drive to end the top of the inning. It's a 2-2 count to the waiting Jesse Winker, and he takes just inside in a full count.
It almost looks foggy out, but it's
does.
Just a light mist. The good news is there's no wind. The flags are absolutely hanging straight down.
Now the 3-2 pitch. And Winker swings and sends a high fly ball into center. Enciarte gets to it, moving off to his left, and he makes a catch. Jose Peraza. Fans, it's Bowtie Tuesday with Mike's Car Wash. If the Reds win tonight's game, you'll save $6 off an ultimate wash tomorrow at all Mike's Car Wash locations. And Mike's will donate $1 to the Reds Community Fund. So 1 gone. Peraza, 247 on the year with 5 runs knocked in. He had probably the single biggest hit that a Red collected in last night's game. Hits a ground ball to Freddie Freeman wide of the bag, and Freeman fields it and outraces Peraza for the second out. Here's Joey Votto. Votto batting .247 with 7 runs batted in. And they will shift to the right side for Votto exactly as they did for Jesse Winker. Ryan Flaherty, the lone infielder on the left side of the infield, with Dansby Swanson joining Ozzie Albies and Freddie Freeman on the right side. And Albies playing a shallow right field. And the pitch, a swing and a miss, and he threw that ball by Votto. And threw it by him by throwing only 91 miles an hour. Time is called now as the plate umpire comes out from behind the catcher, Kurt Suzuki, to dust off home plate. And climbing back in is Votto with 2 out and the base is empty. And the pitch on the way, and that one swung on and grounded to Dansby Swanson, who flips on to first. So that'll go 6-3. And the inning is quickly over. We move on to the top of the second inning, where it'll be Markakis and Suzuki and Tucker. And you have the bank president, the man who covers this club for his Cincinnati Enquirer, the Pulitzer Prize winning newspaper. And that, of course, would be none other than John Fay.
Marty, how you doing?
John, you know how I'm doing, pal.
You're better than the weather, huh?
Yeah, I'm better than a lot of things, but weather certainly would be one of them. Here is the left-handed batting Markakis, who had a big night last night. He knocked in 3 runs with a home run and an RBI base hit, takes a first pitch strike. You did a little research, didn't you?
I knew that Jim Day would be in here tonight, which is, just a thrill for me.
Oh, it's a thrill for me.
No sarcasm there.
I counted up your partners that have been in here with me as I've been coming in the booth throughout the years, and I came up with 9.
Wow. How about that? And what makes that figure most interesting, as the count goes to 2-1, is the first year, God rest his soul, it was Joe and me, right?
Yeah, and all 8 of them are playing for runner-up is my favorite.
Hey, I would vote for that, too.
Here's a 2-1 pitch, and that's taken down low and inside, 3 balls and 1 strike. Well, change in the bullpen. Quackenbush is gone, and Kevin Shackelford, who we saw quite a bit of last year's back.
Yeah, I don't think it's surprising. Quackenbush obviously has struggled and had a really bad outing. Shackelford's not that much younger than him, but he is younger than him. The interesting thing to me is it leaves a spot open on the 40-man, and Nick Senzel's going to be up here eventually, and Is it a prelude? I have no idea, but it could be.
3-2 the count after Markakis fouls off the previous pitch, and now Mahle works, and there's another foul ball. And we may have gone over this before, but I will ask you, if I had not have asked one of the other writers that come in here, when he comes, where's he going to play?
Well, I think right now it would be third base. So I think they have to, this club has to look at everything right now, and I think you just try to figure it out. He got off to a bad start down there. He was 4 for 25. He's been hitting about 300 since. I talked to a scout the other day who thought he'd hit better up here just because he can hit guys with good stuff. And AAA, you have guys that trick you more.
Right.
So, again, I think when you're in the position the Reds are in, you have to look at just about anything, and that he's the best player in the system that's not here. 3-2
pitch again, another foul ball. That's 3 straight fouls on 3-2 pitches from Tyler Mahle to Nick Markakis. We have Eugenio Suarez beginning his first rehab game tonight, right, in Louisville?
Yeah. And that's what makes me think maybe it's not going to happen with Senzel, because Jim Riggleman said it's not going to be a long rehab. I think if he's comfortable, Suarez is going to come up here, back up.
There's ball 4. A great at-bat for Markakis to draw a walk to lead off the second inning. What I found interesting, based on what Jim said to the writers and to the media today, was without expressing it in so many words, he has such great respect for Suarez and the way he approaches his craft that he's going to have a lot of input in terms of telling them when he's ready to play back up.
Yeah, that's he basically said that usually the club determines. The remarkable thing is it's only been 2 weeks and a day since, and that could be a 6-week injury, but obviously it's not going to be. I think if he can swing pain-free, why wouldn't you have him up here?
Absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more. Call strike to the catcher, right-handed batting Kurt Suzuki, but when you bring him back, obviously where you're going to put him is right over there at third base. And now when Senzel comes, whenever he comes, they're not going to bring him up here to sit.
No.
So he's got to play pretty much every day. And so somebody, as a result of that statement, has to sit down. It's going to be interesting to see what they do. But having said that, I agree with what you stated a moment ago at the position this club is in. One, they got to look at all options, and I'll add this, too. They can't worry about whose feelings they hurt.
No. And I think you're going to see some more of that where they're going to make some harder decisions. The start is they got to put it behind them and try to figure out how to get it right and figure out what they're going to do for next year.
Yeah. Here's a 2-0 pitch. Oh, I almost got him as Suzuki was able to get away from that pitch. It came up and in. And it's 1-2 now after the leadoff walk to Markakis. It's a scoreless game. We're only in the top of the second. Talking to John Fay from the Cincinnati Enquirer. And a ball and 2 strikes to count on Suzuki, with Preston Tucker waiting to bat next. The outfield pretty much straight away for a guy who's got some power. He had 18 home runs last year. And that one a swing and a miss on a high change. And that's a third punch out for Tyler Mahle. 1 gone in the inning, and the batter will be Preston Tucker. Let's see. You got Brandon Finnegan pitching. You got Brandon Finnegan pitching tomorrow. How important a start would that be for him?
I think it's very important.
Yeah.
He's gone 4 1/3 in 3 innings in his 2 outings, and that's part of the reason that the bullpen's in the shape it is. Quackenbush might still be around if they didn't have to try to get 2 innings out of him the other day. So you just can't have that on a continual basis. And as we were talking about before with the position players, they got to look at everything at this point. And Brandon Finnegan's the first to admit that he's been pretty bad so far.
Reds are now maneuvering their infielders after the first pitch was a strike to Tucker, a left-hand batter. They moved Blandino over to the right side, or the pull side, for Tucker, and they send Peraza back on the left side of the infield. They had been just reversed before the first pitch to the outfielder, and there's a swing and a miss, and the count's no balls and 2 strikes. What I find interesting, and somebody brought it up to me earlier tonight, they have been much quicker to pull the trigger on relief pitchers who have not been getting it done because they have options in that area.
Right.
Quite honestly, they really don't have a lot of options as far as moving a starting pitcher out and sending him to Louisville and bringing somebody else up.
Yeah, Robert Stevenson had one good start down there and one bad start. And he hasn't proved himself consistently up here. Frankly, I don't know what they'd do if they took Finnegan out, but again, you just can't have a guy go out there and throw 3 or 4 innings on a continual basis.
Well, wouldn't Garrett be the most logical choice?
Yeah, we talked about that the other day. How do you get him up to where he can pitch 4 or 5 innings?
Well, I think you can send him out. I think he could pitch 3 innings right out of the chute.
Yeah.
And once you get past the first start, and now Brian, there I go again. Jim Riggleman made the comment the other day, if he can pitch 3 the second time, there's no reason why he can't pitch 4 or 5. Yeah. So you're going to have to live with maybe 1 or 2 starts and have people available in the bullpen. But I don't know where else they could go if it's not Amir Garrett.
Yeah, I don't.
Ground ball first, step on it, Votto, throw down to second, the throw back to first. And the ball gets away from Joey Votto, might have hit Markakis in the head, but the Reds didn't do a very good job of that play right there. I mean, Votto stepped on the bag to get the out, and Markakis broke towards second base and then had time to come back because Joey committed too early with the throw. They had a double play right there, and they were unable to get it done.
That is heads up by Markakis right there,
was.
because most guys would have gone at least 3/4 down towards second base. He immediately put on the brakes when he saw Votto step on the base and make the throw, and he went right back into first base. That was heads up.
So now the inning continues as a result of that big-time play by Markakis, and that means Dansby Swanson stands in with 2 men out. Mesoraco scratched tonight, huh? Stiff neck.
Yeah, that's the other thing that plays into it. If he's out for any time, they got to get a catcher up here, and they got to get one on the roster. So, but I, just heard about it before the game. It doesn't sound like anything serious.
I wouldn't think so. 1 strike and nothing on the Atlanta shortstop, batting .329. That's the 4th best in the National League going into play tonight. A home run, 8 runs batted in, right-handed batter. And that pitch is taken off the plate for a ball, and it's 1-1. Are you going to Minnesota?
I am.
You've not been to that park, have you?
I have not. I've been to Minnesota a long time.
Here's a 1-1 pitch. That's a swing and a miss. Somebody told me it's been 18 years since the Reds have been there. That's a long time.
They've never been there since I've been on the beat. And that's, I've pretty much been on it for almost 20 years.
Well, then I guess it's right then.
Yeah, I think they went to the Dome once. I just do not understand how they figured to do interleague play. Just seems to be no rhyme or reason to it.
Well, hey, you're preaching to the choir there, pal. Foul ball back, but explain what you're talking about.
But, the Reds have been to Boston 3 or 4 times. They've been to they've been to the Yankees, I bet 5 times, and then to not go to Minnesota for 18 years, a team that's in the Central and the Midwest, it just seems odd.
Well, I'll tell you, it's been a while since they've been to Seattle, too.
Yeah.
1-2 the count. Trying to end the second is Mahle against the shortstop of the Braves, and that pitch a swing and a miss, and he struck him out with a 92-mile-an-hour fastball. The 4th punch out for Tyler Mahle in 2 innings. Scooter Gennett first up here in the bottom of the second. We pause for identification on the Cincinnati Bell Reds radio network.
There is a chance of showers through evening, then cloudy overnight, a low of 49 degrees. Cloudy tomorrow, a high of 61. Then Thursday, sunny, a high in the low 60s. It is 53 at the home of the Reds, News Radio 700 WLW Cincinnati.
Here's Gennett, here's McCarthy, and he swings and fouls it in and out of the mid of catcher Kurt Suzuki. It's been a struggle for Scooter of late, but that doesn't make him unique in any form or fashion. He's 5 for his last 31 over the last 8 games. But there are a number of Reds players that are suffering through that same offensive malady going into play tonight. The strike 1 pitch, and that's just a bit low to even the count at 1 ball and 1 strike.
With that in mind, you wonder how long he might remain in the cleanup spot.
I agree.
Because he and Votto back-to-back, either without a home run.
Now the 1-1 pitch and a foul ball back. Let's be honest about it. Now they don't have a whole lot of options in terms of somebody burning it up.
Correct.
So given that fact, why not leave him in there? I mean, if somebody were pounding the ball and driving in runs and hitting balls over the fence, that'd be one thing. But it ain't happening right now.
Well, there's a guy that hit one out last night.
He did.
Not in the lineup, and you talked to Jim Riggleman about that on the pregame show.
We certainly did. Here's a pitch, and that's swung on and hit into left field, and that's going to drop for a base hit. So Gennett goes the other way and starts the second off with an opposite field hit to left.
Fans, time now for the Cincinnati Bell trivia question. Text your answer A, B, or C to 66128. 66128 for your chance to win a pair of tickets to the Reds Hall of Fame and Museum, a $25 Skyline Chili gift card, a $25 Dunkin' Donuts gift card, and a free haircut from Great Clips. Brought to you by Cincinnati Bell, connecting what matters. Are you ready?
Are you kidding? Please. Here is Adam Duvall. After the base hit by Gennett, ball one.
The Braves franchise has been in operation without interruption since 1876 and has called 3 cities, Boston, Milwaukee, and Atlanta, home. The Braves called multiple ballparks home while playing in 2 of the club's 3 hometowns. In which city did the Braves play all of its home games in a single ballpark? Is it A, Atlanta, B, Boston, or C, Milwaukee? One of those 3 cities they played in just one ballpark.
See, that's a trick question. I can tell you that right now. It's a trick question. Here's the 1-1, and that's taken on the inside corner for a strike. I would say that the one city in which they played in only one ballpark was Milwaukee. So that
would be C.
Well, if that's C, then that's C.
C is your answer, Milwaukee.
Oh, say can you see? Yes. The 1-2, swung on, fly ball, headed toward the gap. It'll be picked off. Or did he play it on the hop? He got it. And heads up base running by Scooter Gennett. He was heading back to first, while right fielder Nick Markakis was still down on the wet turf. That's one of those balls where you really don't know whether it was trapped or whether it was caught. And Markakis made a tremendous catch, and Scooter was able to get back without benefit of a throw. So Adam Duvall has a hit taken away, and here's Tucker Barnhart. Yeah, I'm saying Milwaukee County Stadium.
We'll check back in the 8th.
Because we all know that they played in more than one ballpark in Atlanta.
Yeah.
In fact, I broadcast Atlanta Braves games in 3 different ballparks now. And I got a feeling they played somewhere rather than, I guess they played at Fenway Park. I'm not even sure about that in Boston. But I can't imagine anywhere else that they might have played in Milwaukee except for County Stadium. I still maintain this will be a trick question, and they'll trip me up on this. Meanwhile, Ozzie Albies apparently had a glove malfunction and has gone in and now out of the Atlanta third base dugout to get some new leather. And now Tucker Barnhart, who, as Jim mentioned earlier, was not even supposed to play tonight, but for a stiff neck incurred by Devin Mesoraco, and Tucker back in the lineup. He also is struggling, 2 for his last 17. And he takes the first pitch high for a ball. They would love to see Brandon McCarthy get through an entire season without any physical problems. This guy has been on the disabled list 15 times in his major league career. He has simply not been able to stay healthy for any extended length of time. And given the kind of start he's gotten off to this season, you can understand how they keep their fingers crossed every time he goes out there. 1-1 the count on Barnhart.
Now that includes Tommy John surgery in 2015.
Correct. And that's ball outside, 2-1 the count.
He also was shut down back in 2012, a scary play. He took a ball on the right side of his head And a line drive off of the bat of Eric Ibar. And actually had a brain hemorrhage and a skull fracture. And he didn't pitch the remainder of the season after that.
That makes Tommy John surgery pale by comparison, doesn't it?
Yeah.
3-1 to count. Barnhart now, Blandino in a moment. Barnhart trying to move Scooter Gennett around the base paths after he led the inning off with a base hit. And there's ball 4, and the Reds have 2 men on base for the rookie third baseman. Blandino has kind of started to warm up a bit offensively. This young man comes in with a modest 3-game hitting streak tonight. 179 batter with a run batted in. And with a chance to get the Reds on the board here in the bottom of the second inning with Gennett at second, Barnhart at first, 1 out. And the infield immediately deploys itself at double play depth. Right-handed batter. And the stretch by McCarthy, and he pitches, and the pitch is swung on and lined into center field, a base hit. And that ball was hit so hard that Billy Hatcher, the third base coach, has no chance at all of trying to score Gennett. So 4-game hitting streak now for Blandino, and the bases are loaded for the pitcher Tyler Mahle.
That's one of those with the pitcher coming up. Maybe you take the chance of sending him home, but as you said, that ball was hit hard. Inciarte, a Gold Glove center fielder. But with the pitcher up, maybe you take a chance.
Malle's had 6 at-bats. He's had 1 hit. Freddie Freeman about 2 steps in on the grass at first base, and the third baseman, Ryan Flaherty, about a step off the grass at third, but ready to come. And the pitch is bounced to first, and that's a problem. The throw to the plate, and safe at home. The throw was slightly high, and Kurt Suzuki had to leave contact with the plate to grab the throw from Freeman, and plate umpire right on top of it, Brian O'Nora, signals safe. That would be an error charged on Freddie Freeman, and now the decision-making time has come up for manager Brian Snitker. Do they want to take a look at it again and possibly hope for ruling overturned, or whether they're going to buy into what O'Nora ruled, and that was safe to give the Reds a 1-0 lead? Take him to lunch. How long does it take?
Supposed to be 30 seconds.
Well, they still haven't made a definitive decision yet. Yes, we are. No, we're not. And now they say, yes, we are. So they're going to ask that the plate umpire who made the safe call, Brian O'Neill.
No, they called it off.
Oh, no, they didn't. They sure did. Schnitker showed the headphones on each side, his hands on each ear, indicating, yeah, we want to do it. And then they waved it off. So the Reds have a 1-0 lead. The bases stay loaded for Billy Hamilton, and an error charged again on Freddie Freeman on the high throw. So the Reds catch a major break right there. And it could be an even bigger break if Billy Hamilton can do something at the plate. Here's the pitch on the way, and that's swung on and chopped left side. Bad drop by the pitcher. The throw to first, not in time. He wanted to come home with it. That was the intention of Brandon McCarthy, barehanding the ball off the wet turf. He dropped it and then spun around and threw to first, but too late to get the speedy Hamilton. And the Reds have taken a 2-0 lead here in the second.
I don't think there's any question that the wet infield with this mist that's been falling played a factor in that one. McCarthy tried to barehand the ball. Well, it's tough to say, but we've seen a few throws that have been a little offline.
They credit Billy Hamilton with a base hit and a run batted in, and now the leadoff batter steps in, Jesse Winker. Still only one man out in the inning.
Base hit.
That's it. Yeah.
All right.
Here's a pitch, and it's high for a ball. Billy Hamilton ought to take him out to dinner. 1 ball and no strikes on Winker, who opened the Reds first with a fly ball to center.
I mean, McCarthy had to go to his right, but it was a very makeable play.
The pause in the pitch. Swung on, fly ball, hammered into left center field, caught. Here's a tag by Blandino, and he will cross the plate in a slide to give the Reds a 3-0 lead. So a sac fly. It's Winker, his 7th run batted in. And Jose Peraza becomes the 8th man to bat in the inning. So the Braves are having problems with that wet turf both in the outfield and the infield, but that situation works both ways. It'll be an interesting night. First pitch in for a strike. Peraza bounced out to Freeman his first time up. Mahle at third, Hamilton at second. Here's a pitch, and that's fouled off. Mahle at second, I should say, and Hamilton at first. And the count's no balls and 2 strikes. So Brandon McCarthy trying to cut his losses right here and get Peraza to end the inning. And that ball is hit hard into right. That's a base hit. And they're going to have to hold the lead runner at third base. And the Reds have him loaded again. So Peraza making a habit of hitting the ball the other way and doing it rather successfully, I might add, as he grounds one through the right side of the infield. And now Joey Votto stands in with 2 out and 3 on and 3 runs in.
Big innings have been few and far between for the Reds this season. They had a 5-run 6th last night, and boy, could Votto just bust it open right here.
He could put a real hurting on this Atlanta ball club with a big hit here. So Joey will stand in. When you come see the Reds, be sure you've downloaded Ballpark, the official Great American Ballpark app. Check in at the game to unlock special offers, exclusive content, even seat upgrades. Download Ballpark for free, and don't forget to turn on your phone's Bluetooth. Votto out in the first on a ground ball to shortstop Swanson. Swung on and fouled, 0-1. Tyler Mahle spending a lot of time on the base paths here in this bottom of the 2nd inning. He's the lead runner right now at third base. McCarthy checks him and works, and Votto swings and grounds to second. And the throw on to first ends the inning, and the April Blues continue big time for Joey Votto. The Reds bat around and score 3 times.
Tyler Mahle, the beneficiary of a 3-run 2nd inning by the Reds, and they will carry that 3-0 lead here into the 3rd inning against the Braves. Mahle spent a long time on the base pass, so he is late in warming up, and he will face 8, 9, and 1 in the Braves order. Ryan Flaherty will lead off for the Braves. The Reds looking for back-to-back wins over Atlanta. Flaherty will step in as a .339 hitter. That is 3rd best in the National League, and he's hitting in the 8th spot. His on-base percentage of .446, 4th in the National League. Left-handed batter against the righty Mahle. And it's always interesting to see what the opposing broadcasters think of a pitcher they've seen for the first time. Braves broadcasters, we're only 2 innings in, but impressed with Mahle. First pitch. Misses for ball 1. That mist that was falling earlier seemed to have stopped at the moment. This one way inside, and Mahle's falling behind 2 balls and no strikes. 0 for 4 night last night for Ryan Flaherty, including a couple of strikeouts. 2-0 pitch. Catches the outside corner for a strike. Mahle last time out, 5 innings pitched, 2 earned runs, as we talked about in the open. Wasn't real happy about it. Said, now listen, I got to go 6 and 7 innings if you're going to count it as a good start for me. Here's a swing and a foul back, and the count evens at 2-2. Which you like to hear from a young pitcher. There are too many pitchers in today's game that are satisfied with 5 innings of work. He was not. Wind up in the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. And that is strikeout number 5 for Mahle.
And a good time for an amazing stat, Jim. Going into play tonight in Major League Baseball, there have been 5,326 total hits among all teams in the major leagues. There also have been 5,702 strikeouts. Never in the history of this game has there been one month where there have been more strikeouts than hits, but this is going to be the first one.
That is incredible.
It's unbelievable. It really, truly is, and pretty much paints the kind of offensive picture that we are watching along with everybody else in Major League Baseball today.
1-0 pitch to the pitcher, Brandon McCarthy, is a called strike, and it's 1-1. Well, we've seen the evolution of the strikeout over the last few years just increase. And you want to talk about pace of play?
Yeah.
That's one of the problems.
It is. Again, 5,326 hits through games played last night, 5,702 strikeouts.
Wow.
Totals for Major League Baseball.
1-2 pitch to McCarthy, and he waved at one way outside. Back-to-back strikeouts. In fact, 3 overall in a row for Mahle. 2 outs in the inning.
The Reds.
And that'll bring up the top of the order, Ender Inciarte, who struck out looking to begin the game. Comes in riding a 7-game hitting streak. Blandino in on the grass at third. Strike called. And with a wet infield, you might want to come in even an extra step. So if he lays down a bunt, that bad boy's going to be deadened. A 1 pitch grounded right back to Tyler Mahle. Gloves it, throws to first, and a 1-2-3 third inning for Tyler Mahle. We shall pause for ID on the Cincinnati Bell Reds Radio Network.
Lining up more money for Cincinnati's ECC following the death of Kyle Plush. And President Trump says Kim Jong-un is very open and very honorable. These stories and your forecast after the game on the home of the Reds, News Radio 700 WLW Cincinnati.
Scooter Gennett to lead off here in the bottom of the third for the Reds. 3-0 Cincinnati. Brandon McCarthy back on the hill as the Reds sent 9 men to the plate last time up. And Scooter Gennett got it kicked off with a single, and he came around and scored one of the 3 Reds runs. He swings and misses at the first pitch. Counts 0-1. Scooter wearing number 3 as opposed to the number 4 that he wore last year. Fouled straight back. And he switched to number 3 because he is a major Dale Earnhardt fan. Dale's his guy. And has gone as far as that number 3 that used to be on Dale Earnhardt Sr.'s car. It was very distinctive. He's got that same logo on the handle of his bats or on the knob of his bats. Here's a fly ball left field, an easy play for Tucker, 1 out.
From Dale Jr., has he not? Or
he
from
did.
Somebody in the camp?
We did the story on the dark side, and I took a picture of the knob of his bat with that number 3 on it. And someone put it on Twitter, and then Dale Earnhardt Jr. responded on Twitter.
That's cool.
And you want to talk about making Scooter Gennett's year.
Oh, I'm sure.
He said he was calling all his friends that were Earnhardt fans. Pretty cool stuff. Here's Adam Duvall. Ball one. The game's 15th out is brought to you by Geico, and that was Ender Inciarte. The ground out back to the pitcher, saving you money on car insurance, has been Geico's home run for over 75 years. Get a quote today with a proud partner of Major League Baseball at geico.com. So easy a caveman can do it. Here's a mile-high pop-up on the right side of the infield. Freddie Freeman's got it. 2 outs. Here comes Tucker Barnhart. Barnhart walked and scored back in the second, an inning ago, when Billy Hamilton delivered an RBI infield hit. McCarthy, the righty, the wind-up in the pitch against the left-handed swinging Barnhart, and he fouls it out of play. Tonight's Toyota Tundra Home Run Challenge contestant is Kenneth Reese of Alexandria, Kentucky. If a home run hit by a Reds player during tonight's game hits the Toyota sign between the PNC Power Stacks, then Kenneth is going to get a brand new 2018 Tundra. Here's a line drive into right field, but hit right at the right fielder, Markakis. Off to the fourth inning we go. It is 3-0 Reds on the Cincinnati Bell Reds Radio Network. 3-0 Reds. Fourth inning from Great American Ballpark. Tyler Mahle has been outstanding so far. The only blemish on the scorecard is a leadoff walk in the second to Nick Markakis, but he has 6 strikeouts through 3 innings pitched, and he will get 2, 3, and 4 in the Braves lineup here in the fourth. Ozzie Albies, Freddie Freeman, Nick Markakis. Albies steps in as a .286 batter after striking out in the first. First pitch swinging, and he shoots one the other way, but foul. Albies' 16 extra base hits are the most in all of Major League Baseball. He scored 21 times, first in the National League. Playing in on the grass at third is Blandino. Now he'll back up to the cut of the grass and squaring around a bunt, but pulling it back is Albies, and he looks at a ball. Counts 1-1. It's a little cat and mouse game. Blandino was playing well in on the grass, and then as Mahle was in his windup, went back to the cut of the dirt, and Albies saw it, squared around to bunt, but then pulled it back. So we'll see what happens here. He swings away and lifts one into right field. Going back as Winker's got it. 1 out. And here comes Freddie Freeman. Lined out to center field his first time up on a nicely played ball by Billy Hamilton. What's new? We've grown used to that with Billy out in center field. Reds will shift around to the pull side for Freeman. First pitch to the left-handed batter is a swing and a miss. Alex Blandino, the only defender on the left side, and he is playing where the shortstop normally plays. So the left side wide open should Freeman want it. It's a pitch up and away, and the count evens at 1-1. Mahle, a quick worker. That's what he wants from Barnhart. Wind up in the 1-1 pitch. It's fouled out of play. 1-2. As Marty said, Freeman yet to get it going. .289 batter. 2 home runs. He does have 15 RBIs, though, as this Braves team can hit. Ground ball right back to the box. Fielded by Mahle. Go over to Votto, 2 outs. So Mahle fielding his position well. That is back-to-back innings with balls right back at him. And that'll bring up Nick Markakis. This Braves offense leads the National League in runs, hits, doubles, and batting average. Second in slugging percentage and on-base percentage. And they've struck out just 170 total times. That's second fewest in the league. despite fanning 32 times over their last 3 games. So they will put it in play. A first pitch strike to Markakis, who walked his first time up. Righty-lefty matchup. Infield will play Markakis straight up. Outfield slightly to the pull side, and that one bounces up in there. Count evens up at 1-1. Markakis in there with a .301 average. He's driven in 14 runs. 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. 1-2. Took some off, and Markakis way out front. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Nobody on. Reds with a 3-0 lead. Pitch inside and low. 2-2. Two-two pitch on the way, and it's inside, and the count is full. Mahle will do a little work on the mound. Brush off some of that dirt from the rubber. A wet night here at Great American Ballpark. Payoff pitch is inside, and he walked him. So Markakis, 2 trips to the plate tonight, has walked both times. And he represents, as we talked about at the top of the only blemish on the scorecard for Mahle. 2 outs, runner on first base. Here's Kurt Suzuki. Strikeout victim his first time up. Suzuki's average sitting at .294. As we talked about last night, the hardest guy on the Braves squad to strike out. And Mahle struck him out first time up and delivers the first pitch strike. Off speed pitch at 84 in the outside corner. Suzuki 0 for 4 here last night. 0-1 pitch. Ground ball right at Peraza at shortstop. Underhand flip to Gennett at second base for the 3rd out. Braves strand a runner. Off to the bottom of the 4th we go. 3-0 Reds.
This is the home of the Reds. 700 WLW.
Alex Blandino stepping to the plate for the Reds. Bottom of the 4th. Redlegs with a 3-0 lead. Brandon McCarthy still on the hill for the Braves. Reds got 3 runs in the 2nd, including Blandino scoring one of those 3 runs after he singled, and Jesse Winker brought him in. Blandino now with a modest 4-game hitting streak. Righty-righty matchup, and the first pitch catches the inside corner for a called strike. Alex Blandino, smart guy, Stanford product. When he was drafted into pro ball, he was a couple of quarters shy of his degree as he looks at another strike. But over the last few years, he's chipped away at it. And last year, finally got his degree from Stanford, which is not an easy thing to do, particularly when you're playing pro ball. 0-2 pitch is way outside. So kudos to him for sticking it out. He got a degree in communications, which you can take in a number of different directions. He says he has interest in app development. That would be apps on your phone, which Marty is looking at right now. Or are you over there playing some slow jams?
We're going to talk about that later.
1-2 pitch, again outside, and the count evens at 2-2. McCarthy winds and pitches, just misses outside. Count's gone full. Pitcher Tyler Mahle on deck. 3 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out. McCarthy dealing. Payoff pitch on the way. Ground ball left side. Swanson, shortstop, has it. Throw over to Freeman, 1 out. And that'll be pitcher versus pitcher. Brandon McCarthy, the self-proclaimed Alfred E. Newman lookalike. His words, not mine.
That's about as self-deprecating as you could be.
That's when I read that, I immediately liked him.
Absolutely.
First pitch to Mahle. Ground ball right side. Freeman goes over to his right, backhands it, underhand flip to the Alfred E. Newman lookalike.
That's not fair.
I know. He's really hard on himself.
He's
there.
not a bad-looking guy. How he could call himself an Alfred E. Newman lookalike, I have no idea. Wow.
He's also, like you, a big Twitter guy.
Yeah, he's like me.
Both he and his wife, Amanda, also has that in common with you. Were named Sports Illustrated's top 100 tweeters in sports in 2013. The crown he overtook you for.
He needs to get a life.
As you were the 2012 recipient of
that's close.
Sports Illustrated's top 100 tweeters in sports. Swing and a miss by Hamilton.
I would be categorized as a voyeur when it comes to tweeting.
Which is not fair at all, by the way.
I don't participate. I like to watch. And I read all the tweets that are on there, but I'm not going to get myself in trouble by commenting.
A 1 pitch to Billy Hamilton's outside. You're big on Instagram, though.
That's okay. Instagram is a very innocent way to get your social media kicks.
You could probably get yourself in trouble on there as well, if you wanted to. 1-1 pitch to Hamilton, swing and a miss. And now with 2 strikes, the third baseman Flaherty will back up on the cut of the grass. 2 outs in the inning, nobody on. We're in the bottom of the 4th, 3-0 Reds. Wind up and the 1-2 pitch. High and away. 2-2. One of these days I'm going to get your Twitter handle.
I got your old handle.
2-2 pitch is fouled, but off the glove of Suzuki, and Hamilton stays alive. Hamilton, an infield single, his first time up, and it was the RBI variety. 2-2. Checks his swing and looks at one down low. And the count's gone full. Jesse Winker on deck should Hamilton get aboard. And here comes the payoff pitch to the Reds center fielder, and he slaps it foul. Looks like the rain is all but stopped. And still no wind. Flags hanging straight down. Game time temperature 56 degrees tonight. Here comes the 3-2 again. And it is lifted the other way, but falls foul. Four-game set against the Braves. Night game here tomorrow night. Followed by a business day special on Thursday. And unbelievably, we're right back on the road. Trip to Minneapolis looming. 3-2 again, and strike 3 called. Hamilton was on his way to first base, but Brian Onora rings him up. And we are through 4. 3-0 Reds. Marty Brennaman has the call in the 5th.
Watch every out-of-market regular season game live at home, in the office, or on the go with MLB.tv. Your subscription includes MLB At-Bat Premium, allowing you to watch live baseball on your favorite supported devices. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv for details. We go to the top of the fifth inning. Reds still with a 3-0 lead behind Tyler Mahle, and he goes to work on Preston Tucker in a swing and a miss. Tell you how good that MLB.tv is. Got back to the hotel room on Saturday night, found out that Sean Manaea was going to the ninth inning with a no-hitter against the Boston Red Sox. Dial that bad boy up on my iPad and watch the final 3 outs. The 0-1 pitch, and that's high for a ball.
As far as apps go, man, that MLB app is one of the best.
The pictures are crystal clear. I mean, it's like watching on a big screen television. Yeah, that's good stuff. Here's a 1-1 pitch, and just a bit high and inside for the former Houston Astros property. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Radio calls from the home and away teams. I mean, you got it all on there.
2-1 the count. Mahle has struck out 6, has walked 2. And that one is popped up and out of play behind the plate. Now, you have been inundated on Twitter based on our conversations much more Sunday than last night, but dealing with slow jams. Is that correct?
Yes. One, they couldn't believe you didn't know what slow jam was.
Well, that's the way when you're 75 years old, there's a lot of things you don't know. There's also a lot of things you do know and younger people don't. Swung on and fouled back.
Well, they're wondering when you're going to take some dance lessons, because you said you don't dance to slow jams.
Who wonders that?
Just
one
the
person
general
asked
public.
the question.
No. Reds country is vast.
There's no question about that. 2-2 the count, the pitch. And there's another punch out. He went upstairs again with a fastball. And that's number 7 as he takes care of Tucker to begin the 5th inning.
Hey, that's one thing about Tyler Mahle that we've seen this year and a little bit of last year. He is not scared to challenge guys up in the zone with a fastball.
Nope. And he has been on target tonight. Here is Dansby Swanson, who struck out to end the 2nd. Did any of them offer up groups that they felt should have been recognized?
Well, a lot of them were Jodeci fans that I heard from. Back in the 90s, man, if you put Jodeci on.
Go ahead, finish that sentence. You put Jodeci on what?
That means, you were perhaps on a date or with your significant other and was a romantic part of the evening.
Did you put Jodeci on when you were dating Stephanie?
She loves Jodeci, yes.
Oh, she does?
Yes.
Okay. One ball, one strike.
Very much laughing when I told her you were berating me over this. But I told you I went for an obscure band that I knew you wouldn't know.
Well, you were correct.
Just for the banter of it.
Yeah, well, the banter was forthcoming. 1-1 pitch. Swung on, fly ball, shallow right. That ball's going to be caught by Scooter Gennett. A bid for the first Atlanta hit denied as Scooter breaks back quickly to pick off the fly ball in shallow right from Swanson. Here's Ryan Flaherty. Fans, Cincinnati is your city. Sprint is your network. Switch now at sprint.com/network. 2 men up, 2 men down. Flaherty settles in. He also has punched out in his previous at-bat. How about comments on boy bands? Did that come up?
Well, they said that my Jackson 5 reference was before the evolution of what they called boy bands, which I disagree with.
No, you know what? Technically,
they might be right.
They may be right. But that definitely was a boy band in the early days.
Yeah, it just wasn't when the craze happened with the, I guess, the NSYNCs and the Backstreet Boys, etc. 98 degrees.
Menudo.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, when Michael left, the so-called Jackson 5, that was the demise.
Right. So.
Foul ball.
New Kids on the Block. Am I allowed to go with New Kids? That's a boy band.
NYTB. Or NKTV. Yeah, New Kids on the Block. That's a definite boy band.
But
they're an old boy band now. They're still touring. 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss.
I'm going to go with New Edition. How about that?
That would be a good choice. Very good choice.
Would Boys to Men be a...
That would, yeah, I would say so. Wouldn't you?
I would say
they had
so,
some good stuff.
Oh, that's some really good stuff.
Yeah, they had some good stuff.
Yeah.
Here comes the 2-2 pitch with 2 down and nobody on here in the top of the 5th inning. Mahle working high and a 3-2 count on Ryan Flaherty. You'd like to get him out and begin the 6th inning with a pitcher. Mm-hmm. You don't want to lose him to a walk. He's walked 2 tonight, and they have both been to Nick Markakis. And now Flaherty waiting on the 3-2 pitch. And he struck him out looking. He painted the inside black to pick up his 8th strikeout. And we go to the bottom of inning number 5 with the Reds up 3-zip on the Cincinnati Bell Reds Radio Network. Reds coming to bat for the 5th time tonight against right-hander Brandon McCarthy. Jesse Winker is flied out to left, but that second at-bat with a sac fly, he'll start things off. The Reds have had 4 hits in this game, and all 4 came in the second when they batted around and scored their 3 runs. So that's the only bump in the road, but it's right now a rather sizable one for Brandon McCarthy, given the nature of the effectiveness of through 5 for one Tyler Mahle. So here's Winker, and here's the Atlanta right-hander, and the pitch is fouled away 0-1. Fans, now you can save time and order your groceries at Kroger.com. They'll be delivered right to your door the very same day. Save time and shop online at Kroger. You know what I couldn't remember? Here's the 0-1 pitch. That's foul back. The title of that song that Ken Burker. I forgot?
No, I didn't forget. I'm trying to forget.
Okay.
But if you remember,
I just thought maybe you might have remembered it. We'd run by it again.
No, I'm
not. Here's the 0-2 pitch. And that's hit in the air to left field, and there will be room to play for Preston Tucker, 1 out.
Fans, it's time for Ask Marty.
Bingo.
Well, you can ask the Hall of Famer to give his thoughts on any subject, baseball or non-baseball, presented by CBTS. Today's question comes from @TopperFan.
@TopperFan.
He asked, Marty, who has been your favorite opposing player to watch over the years?
Bruno Mars. No, that's another time. Let me think. You know what? I wish I could tell you, but I really don't. I cannot think of a player that I look forward to watching play on another ball club. As great as Bryce Harper is, I simply don't get all fired up about watching a particular player play. And I've said it many times. I think you can count on 2 hands, maybe 3 hands, in all of Major League Baseball, the players that you know beyond the shadow of a doubt people pay money to watch play. That's not true in basketball. You got a lot of guys that fans will pay money to see play. In baseball, I really don't think, though, and those who people would regularly pay to see play are in a special class by themselves. There's no doubt about that. So I wish I could help you out, but I can't give you one. Here's a 1-1 pitch, and that's in the air to right. And that'll be picked off by Nick Markakis, and they're 2 out. Is there a player that you can think of that you did? You look forward to playing, seeing play?
Wow. You know, I used to love to watch Greg Maddux pitch.
Yep.
He was just one of those special guys that just knew what he was doing.
I think if you're going to find a player like that, and naturally, I'm sure people pay money to see Mike Trout play and Bryce Harper play and some of the, but there will be more pitchers that people would pay money to see play.
Yeah.
And they are guys that are the greats of the game that you pay the money with the possible expectation of seeing that guy throw a no-hitter. Here's a high drive hit back into deep left field. Votto might have his first. He does. Joey Votto taking Brandon McCarthy the other way on a ball that just drifted over the yellow line atop the fence and left and falls into the lower deck. Votto's first home run of the year, and the Reds have taken a 4-0 lead here in the 5th inning. So typical of Jeoy Votto, that first home run, an opposite field homer, and now the monkey is off his back, gets a big smile and a handshake from manager Jim Riggleman, and look at him in the dugout. The heat is off, and he's fired up. Here's Scooter Gennett. So Votto off the schneid, and now Gennett would love to join him. First pitch taken for a ball. Now the wind up and the 1-0 delivery. That's off the plate. I can tell you a pitcher I enjoyed watching pitch and look forward to it, and that was Nolan Ryan when he was with Houston. 2 balls and no strikes.
Never got the pleasure of watching him live.
Ugh. It was something. And now the 2-0 coming, and that pitch is swung on, and that's lifted deep to right field. That ball's down the line. That ball's got a chance, and that ball is a home run. How about that? First, Votto goes to left, and now Gennett pulls one off the foul pole in right field. And just like that, with 2 swings of the bat, Votto and Gennett have their first long balls of 2018. 5-0. The Reds have the lead.
Well, we continued to talk about how each batting 3 and 4 predominantly this year.
Scratch that.
Had yet to have a home run, and they answered that with back-to-back swings. Thank you very much.
Now Adam Duvall. Very, very, very possible to make it 3 home runs in a row. Instead, he beats it on the ground to the shortstop, and Swanson throws him out, and the inning is over. Votto and Gennett play long ball, and they do it in back-to-back fashion. We go to the top of the 6th, and the Reds have a 5-0 lead on the Cincinnati Bell Reds Radio Network. Sign up your son or daughter for the coolest club in all of Reds country. For only $30, your child can become a Reds Heads Kids Club member and get exclusive merchandise, free Reds tickets, members-only experiences, $30 in free Chick-fil-A, and more. Purchase now at reds.com/kidsclub. Charlie Culberson will be summoned from the Atlanta bench. He'll lead off the 6th inning as a pinch hitter for pitcher Brandon McCarthy. Culberson was used in this same exact role last night as a leadoff batter in the 8th inning and bounced out to shortstop. And he swings and misses on pitch 1.
Well, here's the test for Mahle. His bugaboo has been the 3rd time through the lineup. And after this pinch hitter, it will be the top of the order.
Well, he's sitting on 75 pitches right now, which is not bad at all. That pitch, a breaking ball off the plate outside. It's a ball, a strike. 8 strikeouts, a career high, by the way, for Tyler Mahle. And the pitch, and that one's just a bit inside and not by much. His control has been so precise, has been so exquisite tonight, that when he misses, more often than not, it's by just that much. He goes to the wide and comes with a 2-1, and Culberson fouls it back. 5 runs, 6 hits, no errors for Cincinnati, no runs, no hits, and 1 error for the Atlanta Braves. On deck is Ender Inciarte, and he'll be followed by Ozzie Albies. The pitch. Strike 3 call.
Man.
Wow. Boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Carving them up.
As he put on a clinic for 5 1/3 innings tonight. Inciarte has struck out and bounced back to the mound.
He's got that sneaky fastball.
He sure does.
Guys talk about opposing hitters about him hiding the ball, and I asked him, is this something that you tried to develop over the years? He said, no, it's just I never noticed it till I got to Double-A, and people started talking about it. It's just my natural delivery.
Well, it's a dandy. He gets a first pitch over for a strike to Inciarte. Tomorrow, another 6:40 game, the 3rd game of this series. It'll be Brandon Finnegan against right-hander Matt Whistler. And then 12:35 on Thursday, swing and a miss. Homer Bailey hooks up with left-hander Sean Newcomb. Now, when the Reds invade Target Field in Minneapolis on Friday night, Luis Castillo will hook up with right-hander Phil Hughes in the opening game of that series. The pitch. And that's strike 3 call. That is 10 of them now for Tyler Mahle.
We're going to have pizza early tonight.
Oh, boy. This is far and away the best job by a Red starter up to this point in the game that we have seen all year long. And now goes to work on Albies, who has struck out and lined to right. Hit the ball pretty well in the 4th inning, but it was a routine catch for Jesse Winker. There's a swing and a miss. He's running it up there now, 94 and occasionally 95 miles an hour. So he's not throwing any lollipops up there, but again, with that deceptive hide the ball to the last second motion of his, these guys are simply having trouble, it looks like, picking the ball up. Strike swinging, he came hard in on his hands. This may be the biggie here. Free pizza by the 11th inning. By the 6th inning, rather, with 11 strikeouts, and he's got Albie down 0-2. The wind, the kick, and the pitch. And it's high a ball. Working with a 5-0 lead is young Tyler Mahle, 23, out of Newport Beach, California. The pitch. High fly will find its way into the seats down the right field line. Scooter and Jeoy Votto and Jesse Winker all chasing in vain. Holding at 1 ball, 2 strikes. He'll try him again with the count holding at 1-2. Tucker sends out the sign, and Tyler Mahle sends in the pitch. And he struck him out swinging. 11 strikeouts in 6 innings, and he has struck out the side here in the 6th inning, and that is free La Rosa's Pizza for the house. After 5.5, Reds 5, and the Bravos nothing on the Cincinnati Bell Reds radio network.
Brandon McCarthy's night is done. New pitcher on for the Braves, and we saw him here last night, right-hander Peter Moylan. He worked 2/3 of an inning last night and gave up 2 earned runs.
That he did. He'll be facing Barnhart to lead it off. Tucker has walked and scored and is lined out to right field. So the numbers on McCarthy, 5 innings of 6-hit ball. He allowed 5 runs, 3 of which were earned. He struck out a batter and walked a batter. And now it's Barnhart, and he fouls off pitch number 1. This reminder, take a break from works Thursday and enjoy lunch and baseball at GABP, and you can do it for only $20 with the Cincinnati Chamber Business Day special. You get a ticket to see the Reds and the Braves, plus $10 in concession credits. For tickets, visit Reds.com/skipwork. This ball is fouled back, and it's 0-2. Moylan, a native Aussie who now makes his home, and I would imagine has for quite some time, in the Atlanta area. This is 3rd different tour of duty with the Atlanta Braves. That pitch is down low for a ball. He has come back from arm problems, and I'm sure thrilled to death to be back with the club where it all started for him. He delivers the 1-2 pitch. And another foul ball by the Reds catcher.
Have you been to Australia before?
No, I have not. Tom Brennaman has. Tom's been to Australia and New Zealand.
Didn't he go to Bora Bora?
Yes, on his honeymoon, but they also traveled to Australia and New Zealand and said New Zealand might be the finest spot in the entire world. Swing and a miss. And that's all she wrote for Tucker Barnhart, and the batter will be Alex Blandino.
Bora Bora and New Zealand. Big leaguer, pal. Big league stops.
Indeed they were. Takes 3.5 years to get there, but it's all right. One out in the inning, and Blandino has singled in 2 trips. He and his wife very active in the community down in the Atlanta area. And he has not forgotten his roots because he is the co-owner of Apollo Cafe in West Melbourne, Australia.
Nice.
How about that? And besides that, that's one of the greatest accents in the world, the Australian accent. Here's the 0-1 pitch, and that's a breaking ball that misses. Although Tommy Shelby has a good accent, that Irish accent. He and his brother Arthur and John, and it's not bad at all. 1-1 the count. And that's over for a call strike.
Your guy, Tommy Shelby.
Indeed.
You'd like him to walk in the booth, wouldn't you? Have a little visit.
Boy, we'd have a real visit.
Another one better maybe be Walt Longmire.
Maybe. And have both of them together would be even better. Here's a 1-2 pitch. And he dropped down on the right-handed batting Blandino, but did not get it over on the outside corner.
How about the trifecta of a dinner for 4 with you,
yeah,
those two,
plus,
as well as Harry Bosch?
That would be even better. That would be an interesting conversation. Swung on and hit back up the middle. I'll tell you one thing now. Alex Blandino has settled in rather nicely after a rough go of it early, which does not make him unique, as most rookies who come to the big league for the first time. But he is hitting the ball right on the screws, and that's the second time he's done it tonight. 2 hits on the evening, and here's Tyler Mahle.
Talked to him on the pregame show, and it's one of those things where he came up and he'd get a start here and he'd be off for a few days, and now they're giving him some consistent playing time. And you'll ask anyone, it's tough to not settle in unless you're playing consistently.
Here's Mahle, who squares to bunt and does but foul. Actually bunts through it.
And you know what? With Suarez out and veterans Goslin and Pennington most likely not part of your future in the years to come, why not play this guy?
There's every reason to and no reason not to, quite honestly.
And they're playing him.
Yes. Now the 0-1 pitch. And another misfire by Mahle. This one he bunts foul to fall behind 2 strikes. The Braves, of course, the first team to make a call to the bullpen tonight. Tri-State Contact 811 centers want you to know what's below. Tri-State Contact 811 centers, partners in safety. The pitch. And he shows bunt, but takes a breaking ball off the outside corner.
Third baseman Flaherty can literally almost reach out and grab the ball off of Mahle's bat. He's in so tight with that wet grass.
Mm-hmm.
He's in even farther than normal.
That's a dandy bunt. Along the first base line, the only place Suzuki has is to first, where Albies comes over to take the throw. That was a perfect bunt. So Mahle helps himself at the plate. And with 2 down and Blandino at second, the batter will be Billy Hamilton.
Couldn't roll it out any better than that right there. And as I said, with the third baseman right on top of him, he elected to bunt it to the right side, which was the perfect play.
Billy Hamilton infield hit in the second to knock in a run. He's 1 for 2. Moreland looks back at second, now pours it plateward, and that one's fouled away. Tigers and Pirates, they've been hanging around and hanging around and hanging around. They still apparently haven't gotten that game underway. The Mets and the Cardinals are underway. Mets batting in the top of the first inning in St. Louis. The pitch. Swung on, ground ball, shortstop. Dansby Swanson throwing on to Freeman, and the inning is over. 1 hit, 1 left. Jim Day back in the 7th inning. The Reds have a 5-0 lead on the Cincinnati Bell Reds radio network.
Tyler Mahle has been brilliant for the Reds, and he's back on the hill in inning number 7 against the Braves. 5-0 Reds, as Mahle will face the heart of the order here in the 7th. Freeman, Markakis, Suzuki. 11 strikeouts on the night so far for Tyler Mahle, a new career high. First pitch to the left-hander Freeman is up high for ball 1. Mahle's previous career high in strikeouts was 7, and it came in his first start this year against the Cubs. 6 innings and 7 strikeouts. Here's a foul straight back. Two walks to Nick Markakis. The only blemishes on the scorecard. Big shift employed by the Reds to the pull side of Freeman. Here's a drive to right center field. And that is the first hit of the night in a big fashion for Freddie Freeman and the Braves. Solo home run, and the Braves are on the board. Third home run of the season for Freddie Freeman, RBI number 16. And it's a 5-1 ball game.
Now, young Mr. Mahle has to hitch himself up by his bootstraps, proverbially speaking, and bear down now. I'm sure the thought of a possible no-hitter has gone through his mind after taking one in before that. Now you got to go to work and get some people out.
And we talked about the third time through the order for Mahle, which has been a hurdle he needs to get over. And that's not unlike any young pitcher or any pitcher in the game, in today's game for that matter. And here's a first pitch swinging Nick Markakis, who sends it into the left center field gap. He's around first base, headed to second. And he's in with a double. So home run double here in the 7th inning off of Tyler Mahle. And I imagine that'll get him stirring around down in the Reds bullpen. Mahle with 91 pitches. And that'll bring to the plate Kurt Suzuki. So not a single hit through 6 innings, and now back-to-back hits, a home run and a double. And it's double-barreled action in the Reds' pen as Tucker Barnhart will slowly walk to the mound along with new pitching coach Danny Darwin to give these relievers a chance to warm up. Lefty Amir Garrett, righty Jared Hughes cranking it up. 1 run, now 2 hits, 1 error for the Braves. 5-7-0 for the Reds. If you're just joining us, the Reds sent 9 men to the plate in the 2nd inning, put a 3 spot on the board. And then back-to-back home runs in the 5th. First of the season, Votto. First of the season, Scooter Gennett. Now the Braves dent the scoreboard here in the 7th. The meeting is over on the mound. And now Mahle will try to bear down and forget about the 2 previous batters. Kurt Suzuki 0 for 2 tonight. He's a hard guy to strike out, the hardest on this team, but Mahle got him first time up. He grounded out into a fielder's choice his last time up. First pitch to Suzuki is fouled straight back. Mahle working from the stretch for only the 3rd time tonight, as Markakis takes his lead from second base. And a long look in at Tucker Barnhart. Now he pauses, a look back at the runner at second base, and delivers the 0-1 pitch. And then Suzuki fooled badly, just flailed at one. Missed it by about a foot. And the count is 0-2. Left-handed batting, Preston Tucker standing on deck for the Braves. Mahle trying to limit the damage. He's ahead, no balls and 2 strikes to Suzuki. 0-2 pitch on the way, outside. 1-2. quick worker, slowed the pace down a bit here in the 7th. 1-2 fouled straight back. Checking in with the Louisville Bats, I should say. Eugenio Suarez began a rehab assignment tonight. He just doubled. He is 1 for 2. He scored a run and walked twice. We'll do the 1-2 again. Here it comes, way inside. 2-2. Suarez playing third base tonight for the Bats. Nick Senzel at second base. Senzel, Suarez hitting 2 and 3 in the lineup for the AAA Louisville Bats. Counts 2-2. Runner on second base, nobody out. Here's a drive to left field, and that one is gone. 2-run home run off the bat of Kurt Suzuki, and it's a brand new ball game at 5-3 Cincinnati.
You got to go get him right now. This is the one thing that he has shown this season, and that when he loses it almost quickly enough that you can't get somebody ready in the bullpen. Here comes Jim Riggleman, and that is going to be it. Boy, you talk about the roof coming crashing down on a pitcher going into this inning with 6 no-hit innings, home run, double, home run. And now, if it's not a new ball game, it's awfully close to being one.
No question about it. Riggleman has reached the circle, takes the ball from his youngster Tyler Mahle, but a big round of applause. It was 6 brilliant innings. Tough going in the 7th. He leaves with a career-high 11 strikeouts. There is nobody out here in the 7th. So 6 hitless innings by Tyler Mahle in the 7th inning. Freeman leads off with a home run. Double Markakis. 2-run home run Kurt Suzuki. And Garrett delivers one up high to the left-handed batting Preston Tucker. Garrett a wind up in the 1-0 pitch. Misses outside, 2-0. Pitch grounded right back to Garrett. He gloves it, runs halfway to first base, underhand toss to Votto, 1 out. And that would be considered a big out to stop the big Mo. At least he hopes so. He'll tangle with Dansby Swanson now. Shortstop for the Braves is 0 for 2 tonight. Strikeout, and he popped out. As you know, Amir Garrett, big dude, listed at 6'5". If you're standing next to him, he seems taller than that. Listed at 228 in the first pitch fastball at 94 miles per hour, in for a strike. Resides in Las Vegas, Nevada, says Amir Garrett, the former Division I basketball player. Lefty thrower, righty batter. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Off speed. This is inside. 1-1. Swanson began the night tied, or 4th in the National League in batting average at 329. That averaged down to 321. The 0 for 2 night as Garrett misses down and away. 2-1. Garrett the windup and the pitch. Down low. 3-1. Pitch. Inside corner for a strike. Right at the knees, and Swanson didn't like it a bit. he's having words with Brian Onora. Words and shaking his head, and Onora's telling him to get back in the box. Swanson taking his time to get back in. Now he digs in. And he'll stare down a payoff pitch from Garrett. It's ripped into left field for a base hit. So that'll bring the tying run to the plate in the form of Ryan Flaherty. Flaherty, a left-handed batter against the lefty Garrett. Jared Hughes continues to crank it up in the Reds bullpen, doing jumping jacks as we speak. Arm probably warmed up, just trying to keep it going as the Braves have sent a right-handed pinch hitter into the on-deck circle. Count is 1-0 to Ryan Flaherty. Flaherty 0 for 2. Struck out both times up. Swinging and looking. Dansby Swanson takes his lead from first. Pitch. Grounded to Votto. He will throw to second base. Peraza back to Votto. That's a double play. What a big defensive sequence for the Reds. Amir Garrett gets the job done. But the Braves get 3. New pitcher on for the Braves, and he will face the top of the order here in the 7th. It's A.J. Minter. He'll make his 11th appearance. And that ERA sitting at 0.87. That would be 0.87 over 10 1/3 innings pitch. Opponents hitting just 125 off of him. So one of the hammers in the bullpen for Brian Snitker. The lefty goes to work against the lefty Winker, and first pitch is a ball. Winker has flied out twice. In fact, he's flied out 3 times, but one of them a sacrifice fly RBI back in the second. 1-0 pitch into left field. Hit well. Going back is the left fielder reaching up, and he can't get it. Over the head of Tucker and into second base is Jesse Winker with a leadoff double. Third double of the season for Winker, and the Reds will try to get some runs back here in the bottom half of the 7th. I've seen that a lot from Winker. He will spray it all over the ballpark. And a sliced one to left over the head of Tucker. And that'll bring up Jose Peraza. We're going to have a pinch runner here, as Phillip Ervin will come on to pinch run for Jesse Winker. So Winker's night is done, as Jim Riggleman wanting to get at least one of those runs back. And as you know, Winker, not the fleetest of foot. He can hit. But Ervin certainly has better wheels than him. So Ervin on second base, nobody out. The right-handed hitting Jose Peraza at the dish. Pitch, bunt, fouled back to the screen. That was a sneak attack variety as Peraza squared around at the last moment, even though the infield was playing in, thinking that Peraza is going to bunt Ervin over to third base with nobody out here in the inning. See if he squares around earlier this time. Squares around late, lays it down, but foul, right side. If you're going up there to sacrifice, I'm not sure why you don't just square around. They're already playing in at first and third. They know what you're up there trying to do. But Jose Peraza, best bunter on the team. No question about it. So he has proven that he can lay it down. Now the count's 0-2. Let's see what he does. Look back at the runner at second base, and Peraza swings away. Ground ball right side into right center field. They're going to hold up Irvin at third base. And a good thing he did, because up and firing was Ender Inciarte, but it's first and third and nobody out. So that's one of those cases where you fail to get down the bunt, but it turns out to be a break. Because Peraza, the base hit, his second hit of the night. And now Jeoy Votto. Last time up, Votto delivered his first home run of the season. Ninth hit of the night for the Reds. 5-3 game in favor of Cincinnati. Trying to add to it. Lefty-lefty matchup. And the first pitch to Votto. Inside corner for a strike. Votto now with 8 RBIs on the season. He has reached base in each of his last 9 appearances. 0-1 pitch. In the dirt. Blocked by Suzuki, and he saved a run. Counts 1-1 to the Reds' first baseman. Irvin takes his lead from third. Peraza from first. A high hold by Minter. A look over at Peraza. Kicks and fires, and it's fouled straight back. Votto taking his time to get in the box. Now he's set. And Minter about to deliver the 1-2 pitch. Here comes. Up and in. 2-2. And per usual with 2 strikes, Votto chokes up even more on the bat. Now he'll manicure that dirt up in the batter's box. Climbs back in. 2 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out. First and third. The pitch into left field. Going towards the line and watching it fall foul is Tucker. That ball just falls foul as again Votto going the other way. His home run back in the 5th was an opposite field job that just got over the wall in left center field. So we'll do the 2-2 again. Now with that wet grass, Jeoy will take the time to dry his bat off as he flung that ball in the grass in foul territory. And now he's going to ask home plate umpire Brian Onora if he can get the Manny Mota stick, which he does. Flips back to Scooter Gennett. And that Manny Mota stick, you're probably like, what is that? A la pine tar. Helps him with his grip. Throw over to first. Peraza back. Two balls, 2 strikes. Minter delivers. Swing and a foul back. That was classic Votto right there. It's an art form the way he fouls balls off and hangs alive with 2 strikes. Count holds at 2-2. Scooter Gennett on deck. Comes the 2-2 again. Swinging again, fouled out of play. This is a line drive over the Braves dugout. "5-3 Reds." We're in the bottom of the 7th. First and third, nobody out. And yet again, we'll do the 2-2. Here comes. Swing and a miss. Quite the battle between Mentor and Votto, but the victory goes to Mentor. And that'll bring up Scooter Gennett with 1 out. Pretty big run sitting out there, at least at third base for the Reds. With 1 out, they need at least a fly ball deep enough off the bat of Gennett. Left-handed batting, Scooter Gennett. It's the lefty A.J. Mentor. Scooter working on a good night, 2 for 3, including his first home run of the season. Squares around the bunt, suicide squeeze, and beautifully done. Very nicely done. You don't expect the cleanup hitter to go up there and lay down a bunt with 1 out and a man on third base, but that's exactly what Scooter Gennett did. They get the out at first base, but Phillip Ervin scores, and it's 6-3 Reds. Ervin was running while the pitcher was in his windup, and Gennett laid it down left side. And the only play was to first base. And now Adam Duvall will be intentionally walked. And that'll set up a first and second situation for Tucker Barnhart. When that play is executed, I'm not sure there's a prettier play in baseball. That was well done. As we said, a big run. First pitch to Barnhart is tapped foul. Two outs in the inning. Runners on first and second. Barnhart, the switch hitter, hitting from the right side against Mentor. 0-1 pitch to Tucker. There go the runners. Double steal. Throw down to third base. Not in time. Well, Jim Riggleman talked about being aggressive on the base paths and in general. And that's aggressive base running right there. It's stolen base number 3 for Peraza. And stolen base number 1 for Duvall. So both runners in scoring position now. Second and third, 2 outs. Up and away, and nearly took the arm off of Suzuki. He just saved a run. That ball was so up and away in the zone that Suzuki, in his crouch, had to leave his feet. And just gloved it. Counts 2-1. Two-one pitch. Swing and a miss. It was a good pitch in on the hands of Barnhart. Count evens at 2-2. Two-two pitch. Grounded up the middle. Base hit into center field. Actually, the second baseman will glove it. 1 run more score, and they've got Duvall caught up at third base. I think Duvall was like me. He thought that ball went into center field, but diving after it was Ozzie Albies. And Albies on the backhanded dive gloved it. The run scores, but Albies fired to third base and caught Duvall sleeping. But the Reds get 2.
Here on the Reds when they take on the Marlins May 4th through 6th. Saturday, May 5th, a big day. Be one of the first 20,000 through the gates to receive an A. Eugenio Suarez bobblehead thanks to John Morrell. See the Reds take on the Marlins May 4, 5, and 6 for as low as $12. For tickets, visit Reds.com. We're in the top of the 8th inning. Amir Garrett, who came on to do such a great job, as usual, to shut the Atlanta Braves down after they homered and doubled and homered again at the outset of the inning, now goes to work from scratch here in the top of the 8th. He'll first get a pinch hitter, veteran outfielder, and the much-traveled Peter Borges, a right-hand batter. And he is in and waiting. And Garrett with a wind-up in the pitch, and it swung on, grounded up the middle, cut off by Peraza, gets up and throws, and got him. Very nice play by Jose Peraza, breaking toward the middle of the infield. In fact, went down on a knee, but was able to bounce right back up and turn and make a perfect throw to Joey Votto to take one away from Borges. One out.
You know, going down to a knee like that was by design by shortstops like that. Going to his left, it immediately slows him down and gets him set for the throw. That was pretty stuff by Peraza.
Sure was. Here's Ender Inciarte 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. And the first pitch is high and away. 7 runs, 10 hits for the Reds, 3 runs, 4 hits, and 1 error for Atlanta. So the Reds very nicely answered the 3-run 7th for the Braves by putting 2 on the board themselves. And as a result, extend their advantage by 4 runs with the Braves batting here in the top of the 8th.
Would you like to check back in on the Cincinnati Bell trivia question?
Yeah, I would.
We asked. Braves franchise has been in operation without interruption since 1876 and called 3 cities, Boston, Milwaukee, and Atlanta, home. The Braves called multiple ballparks home while playing in 2 of the club's 3 hometowns. In which city did the Braves play all of its home games in a single ballpark? Is it A, Atlanta, B, Boston, or C, Milwaukee? And you said
C, Milwaukee. Here's a pitch, swung on and fouled.
And the survey said the answer is C.
That was an easy question.
The Braves called Milwaukee home from 1953 to 1965 and played all of its home games in County Stadium.
May have
1965, that can't be right. 1965. The club had multiple home ballparks when it was based in Boston, and SunTrust Park is the club's 3rd ballpark in Atlanta.
Pitch in the dirt, and the count's 2-2 on Inciarte. County Stadium in Milwaukee was probably the worst ballpark I've ever been into.
I've heard that often.
The worst.
How about that rain delay in 99?
Single worst day I've ever spent in this position. The pitch, swung on and fouled. I mean, everybody had a bad disposition to begin with. I mean, that team went into Milwaukee on the last weekend of the year needing to win 2 against maybe, if not the worst team in the league, very close.
And bringing up bad memories here, boy.
Terrible. They get beat Friday night. They get beat Saturday night. Then they have a 5.5-hour rain delay on Sunday, the last game of the season. And they're able to eke out a win there. But now they got to go home and play the New York Mets at Riverfront on Monday night in a 1-game play-in. And got shut out
Leiter
against Steve Paris. They got shut out 5-0. And it was the end of a season that was so much fun. Their strike 3 call, Inciarte out on strikes for the 3rd time tonight, because it was such a fun team to watch play. Danny Graves and I were talking about that over the weekend. That team had Sean Casey and had Barry Larkin and Greg Vaughn.
Greg Vaughn was the enforcer on that.
He was the man. He was the man.
Like Cameron in center field, right?
Yep, and it just ended on such a bad note. 2 out in the inning, and here's Ozzie Albies, and the pitch is low for a ball.
That's a tough way to go. You win 96,
yeah.
And you don't even get in? Oh.
It was awful. Pardon me? Here's a pitch, and here's a high fly that'll end the inning. And Hamilton camping and makes a catch, and we go to the bottom of the 8th. 7-3 Redlegs on the Cincinnati Bell Reds Radio Network.
And we shall pause for ID on the Reds Radio Network.
There is a chance of showers through evening, then cloudy overnight, a low of 49 degrees. Cloudy tomorrow, a high of 61, then Thursday, sunny, a high in the low 60s. It is 53 at the home of the Reds, News Radio 700 WLW Cincinnati.
New pitcher on the hill for the Braves, it's Dan Winkler. He will make his 11th appearance, a 1.74 ERA, spanning 10 1/3 innings. He has only given up 2 earned runs over that time.
He becomes pitcher number 4 tonight for the Atlanta Braves, and he goes to work on Alex Blandino looking for his 3rd hit, and the first pitch is taken for a strike. A.J. Minter goes an inning, gives up 3 hits and 2 runs, both earned. He walked a batter intentionally and also struck out a batter. That pitch is taken to even the count of the ball a strike. Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit geico.com for a free rate quote. Now the 1-1 delivery, and it's taken just a bit high and away, ball 2. Reds got 5 runs off the starter Brandon McCarthy, 3 of which were earned, and then tacked those 2 runs on the board against A.J. Minter. The pitch, and that's ball 3, 3-1. Mahle would win it. McCarthy would lose it. And Blandino waits. And he takes strike 2 and a full count. This has been a night in which starter Tyler Mahle pitched 6 no-hit innings before the wheels fell off in the 7th. It's a night in which Votto and Gennett both hit their first homers of the year, and they did it back-to-back. That ball is fouled out of play. And the Reds are going to be 3 outs away from winning back-to-back games for the first time this season.
Garrett's in the on-deck circle. This would, if you're looking to perhaps stretch him out.
I think you have to.
Yeah, this is a time. Send him back out there for would be a complete 3 innings of work, but close.
Yeah, it would be.
Yeah, it would be, I guess, officially.
It would be 3 innings of work. There's ball 4. The fact of the matter is, and you certainly hope it's not the case, you'd like to see Brandon Finnegan go out against a good offensive club like this and pitch well tomorrow.
Absolutely.
But if he doesn't, then I don't know that this club has any choice but to turn to Amir Garrett, simply because he's been outstanding. You don't have any other options as far as Louisville is concerned unless they're hiding somebody down there. Garrett squares to bunt and takes ball 1, or takes strike 1.
Well, you couldn't draw up a more perfect situation than sending him out for the 3rd inning tonight. And Jim Riggleman has said once he gets to 3, it's not that much worse to send him out for 4 and 5.
That's right.
And we're talking about Finnegan going to the mound tomorrow.
And he offers at it in the bunt attempt, and the count's 0-2. Blandino led the inning off with a walk. He's down at first, and here's the 0-2 pitch. And he bunts it foul, and that's a weak effort, and that's a strikeout. And that'll bring to the plate Billy Hamilton. This copyrighted broadcast authorized by or presented by authority of the Cincinnati Reds. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cincinnati Reds. This copyright reminder is provided by Dinsmore, the official legal counsel of the Reds. Hamilton 1 for 3. Winkler a quick throw over, and Blandino is back. Now Winkler with a stretch and onto the plate and a swing and a miss. And way inside for a ball. Winkler was acquired by the Atlanta Braves in the Rule 5 draft back in 2014 from the Colorado Rockies. It was a team that he never pitched for, obviously, in the big leagues. And he works, and Hamilton takes low for a ball, but came up to the Braves in 2015. Got into 2 games. The following year, got into 3. Then went down, was with the Florida Marlins for all of 3 games last year, and then back with the Braves for 16 appearances and a 1-1 record last season. Swing and a miss, 2 balls and 2 strikes. So this young man has been around the block a little bit. He had Tommy John surgery back in July of 2014. Finds himself right now pitching out of the Atlanta Braves bullpen. This native of Illinois. Swung on and fly ball center, and it'll be caught by Enciarte, and they're 2 out.
Now I look in the Reds bullpen, and they do have Rysel Iglesias warming up. So I'm wondering now if they just sent Garrett up there to bunt, albeit it was a failed attempt. But I'm not sure they would get Iglesias cranked up unless they're bringing him into the game.
Well, it's kind of unusual because it's a non-save situation.
Yeah.
I mean, I could see him beginning the 9th inning with a Garrett.
Perhaps,
and if he runs into any trouble, you rush Iglesias in there. But I got to feel like you do. They're going to have Iglesias out there at the beginning of the 9th. Swing and a miss by by Phillip Ervin, batting for the first time. Jesse Winker doubled in the 7th, and Ervin immediately came on to run for him and stayed in the game to play right field. That's way off the outside corner. 1 ball, 1 strike. If you're keeping track, the Braves will have 3, 4, and 5 up against whomever the Reds sent out there. In the 9th inning, Freeman and Markakis and Suzuki. Check swing and checked it. No, he didn't. First base umpire throws that right hand aloft field in Culbreth, and the count's a ball and 2 strikes. He got some playing time a few weeks back, but as soon as Scott Schebler showed up in the last few days, the playing time for Ervin will not be very much, I would not imagine. The pitch, and that's off the plate for a ball. We've seen McCarthy and Moylan and Minter and Winkler. We've seen 5 members of this Atlanta bullpen in the first 2 games of this series. High pop up, but that ball will carry back in the seats. All leaving at 2-2. During your next trip to the ballpark, visit concession stands for the Kroger meal deal, which includes a hot dog, a Coke, Kettle Brand chips. And during this homestand, Danible's Strawberry Explosion Yo Tubes. Yo! Be sure to pick up your Danible's Strawberry Explosion Yo Tubes at Kroger throughout Reds country.
Was that Yo?
Yo. 2-2 pitch. Ball 3. You stopped by Kroger on your way home last night?
I did.
We did fix something to eat, probably a little late snack before you went to bed.
I did not. I had to pick up essentials.
That's food.
No, we're talking like deodorant and toothpaste.
They're secondary essentials. Here's a 3-2 pitch, swung on a mile-high fly ball, headed toward the left fielder, and Tucker grabs it. The inning is over, and now we go to the top of the ninth. 7-3 Reds on the Cincinnati Bell Reds Radio Network. Fans, we invite you to make the jump to light speed. Don't miss Star Wars Night at the Ball Yard, Friday, May 4th. Celebrate by purchasing the Star Wars themed ticket package presented by PNC Bank. In fact, get an exclusive Chewbacca bobblehead and your ticket to see the Reds take on the Marlins. This limited edition bobblehead is only available through this offer. Visit Reds.com/themes. And yes, Amir Garrett has gone back to the mound to try and notch a 3-inning save facing Freddie Freeman to begin inning number 9, and the pitch is taken for a strike. And they had Raisel Iglesias warming up for a rather extensive period of time. He is now settled back down, but in the event that Garrett should run into problems, he won't have trouble getting ready to come in. 1 ball, 1 strike. And you know what? In some ways, I don't know that they ever admit it, but this could be sending a message that we are officially in the process of stretching out Amir Garrett in the event that we need to run him into the rotation should Brandon Finnegan not pitch well for the 3rd time in a row.
Yep. Iglesias is up and walking around in the bullpen, but he's ready to go should they need him. But I agree with you.
Yeah.
We talked about this earlier. This is a perfect opportunity. If that's the direction you're going,
right,
stretch him out right here.
He's got a ball and 2-strike count on Freddie Freeman, and he struck him out swinging. Or did he? Nope. Ball tipped by Freeman and falls in front of home plate. He has homered tonight. In fact, he had the first hit that the Braves had in this game, and that came with a leadoff homer off Tyler Mahle in the 7th. Foul ball. Came on in the 7th inning with 3 runs in, nobody out. He got a ground out, gave up a base hit, then threw a double play ball, and then retired the Braves in order in the 8th. Foul ball, and this bounces to the Reds dugout. Western and Southern Financial Group wants to strike out cancer all season long. Every time a Reds pitcher strikes out a batter, Western and Southern will make a donation to the Barrett Cancer Center. As Western and Southern says, when it comes to fighting cancer, we are all in this one together. There's another home run. Deep into the moon deck in right field. He has hit 2 bombs in this game tonight. And that one leads off the 9th inning to make it a 7-4 ball game. Now the question now it's a save situation for whoever follows him to the mound. Jim Riggleman with 1 foot on the step has not yet made a move. And apparently is going to hang with Garrett for at least 1 more batter. He'll be facing Nick Markakis. Big night for Freddie Freeman. 2 solo home runs after coming into this game with only 2 the entire first month of the season. He's doubled his home run total in 1 night. And Markakis takes ball 1. Garrett studies the sign, the wind up in the pitch, and that's on the outside of strike. And a ground ball hit to Votto. Jeoy gets it, and now he'll underhand to Garrett, and that's out number 1. 14,139 turnout for tonight's Titanic struggle. 14,139. 1 gone here in the top of the night. What are you studying? What is all this business?
Looking at the crowd.
Kurt Suzuki, he also homered in the 7th inning, a 2-run blast to left. Garrett kicks and throws, and it's high for a ball. So you don't have any more essentials to pick up at Kroger? You're not going to stop by there tonight?
No, I'm good to go, as the other guy that sits in his chair said. Good to go.
I was kind of surprised he didn't come over here and get his chair.
I was shocked.
I know. I don't get it.
He says the chairs over there are better.
Oh, he did?
They got new chairs over there, apparently.
I bet that makes Jesse Jackson happy. You don't have to come over here and get it.
Yeah, because you got to trudge them up the stairs.
That's
here.
terrible. They're heavy, too.
Yeah.
Garrett needs a strike. And he got it in the inside. 2-1.
I can't go anywhere without hearing your voice, though, even in Kroger.
Kroger, the airport.
Airport. I mean, it just
radio booth.
Can't escape it.
Here's a 2-1 pitch. And that's hit hard into right. Base hit. That might be the last pitch he throws. Phillip Ervin returns it to the infield. And the batter now will be Preston Tucker, who is 0 for 3 tonight. Well, he's a left-hand batter. So Jim Riggleman, no doubt, will hang with him. But right now, Tucker Barnhart, a quick trip to the mound. They've got Iglesias ready in the bullpen should they make the trade, change, or want to make it. And now Tucker comes to the plate having bounced out, struck out, and grounded back to the mound. Left-hander against left-hand batter. Pitch is high, ball 1. Well, they put one more player on base, and now you got the tying run at the plate. Inning began with a long home run by Freeman to right, bounced back out by Markakis, single by Suzuki, and he lays off that high fastball, and the count's 2-0. It has been a 37-pitch relief appearance up to this point for Amir Garrett. And he slings it toward the plate, this 2-0 delivery, and that's a foul ball. Tucker slow to get back in the box. The infield looking for the ground ball that could end this thing. Now the pitch, and it's a swing and a line drive into right center field, and that is a gapper off the wall. The runner goes to third, the throw back into second, not in time, and they've got him at second and third now with only one out. And I don't think Jim Riggleman's got any choice now but to pull the plug on Amir Garrett and go to the bullpen. Their thought process now is to see whether or not they got an out at second base. And Jim looking down underneath the dugout roof to the man who will deliver the thumb up or thumb down before he goes to the mound and brings on Raisel Iglesias. So there will be no challenge on that out, a safe call at second. But you talk about running out of gas. We've seen 2 Reds pitchers go south right now tonight. Tyler Mahle, after pitching 6 no-hit innings, could not get a batter out in the 7th. And a rough 9th inning with only one batter having been retired by Amir Garrett. It is now officially a save situation, and Raisel Iglesias coming out of the bullpen. We'll be back in just a moment.
This is the home of the Reds, 700 WLW.
Well, for the second night in a row, Raisel Iglesias is out of the bullpen. Last night he worked an inning and a third, and now comes on in a very, very sticky situation. Runners at second and third, one out. Dansby Swanson representing the tie and run, and he's hacking and fouling off pitch number 1. Granted, when Iglesias came into the game last night, the game was not a one-run affair. The Braves had scored twice in the 8th inning to make it a 7-4 game when they brought him in to get the final out at the top of the 8th, and then the Reds came up with 3 runs in the bottom of the 8th and went on to win the game 10-4. But facts are facts. He pitched an inning and a third, and now has been called on here in the 9th inning in relief of Amir Garrett to try and get 2 more outs. Reds have a 7-4 lead, and it's a 1-1 count. A long look down by Iglesias to Tucker Barnhart, who ran through all the signs, none of which seemed to appease Iglesias, and Swanson steps out of the box. Ryan Flaherty waiting on deck. The outfield straight away, the infield back. And now the right-hander ready and lets it fly, and that's taken for a ball, 2-1. And I think Iglesias wanted that pitch in the worst kind of way. He just stood there, stared in toward plate umpire Brian O'Nora, and took the throw back from Tucker Barnhart. Suzuki at third, Tucker at second. Right-handed batting Swanson checking his swing, and there's ball 3. Swanson with a hit tonight. That was a single in the 7th inning. Had that hit off of Amir Garrett. And now a 3-1 coming, and that one is taken high, and the bases are loaded. Well, things, I'm sure, are getting a little bit testy now down on that first base dugout. Ryan Flaherty, who has struck out twice and bounced into a double play tonight, and he is 0 for 7 in the series and has struck out 4 times, twice last night and twice tonight. He came into this series last night with a .362 batting average, which was best going into play last evening in the National League.
He's faced Iglesias 1 time in his career, 0 for 1.
He's a left-handed batter. The infield now at double play depth, and the pitch to Flaherty is fouled off 0-1. We talked last night. They've got Jose Bautista in their system. He's playing third base. He started down with one of their Class A clubs, but then has been elevated to AAA Gwinnett. Apparently played a game there last night, and the feeling is that once he's ready, he will take over third base despite the wonderful start that Ryan Flaherty has gotten off to. 1 strike and nothing. Iglesias walking the first batter he faces, and now throws the strike 1 pitch, and Flaherty checks, and that's strike 2 call. He would, short of a double play, love to get a strikeout in this situation. He's in the driver's seat right now with the count, no balls and 2 strikes. And now steps off the pitching rubber and will start all over again. Here's a pitch. After the long pause, and he struck him out swinging. A big strikeout for Raisel Iglesias. And now Johan Camargo, who also is a third baseman by trade, and he's going to come to the plate, another Atlanta left-hand batter, to try and keep them going in this 9th inning. The first appearance in this series for Camargo. So 2 out with the bases loaded. And Iglesias going to work on Camargo, a 167 batter. And the pitch to him, and he takes it down low, ball 1. He's had 1 hit in 6 times up. He has a run batted in. He is 0 for 3 as a pinch hitter. Johan Camargo. A long look by Iglesias. Now he straightens up. And he delivers, and that's low and inside, and it's a 2-ball, no strike count. The inning began with a home run by Freeman. He got an out, did Garrett on a Markakis ground ball, but then Suzuki singled. Tucker doubled off the base of the wall and right. Exit Garrett, enter Iglesias. He walked Swanson, but has struck out Flaherty. However, he's fallen behind to the pinch hitter Camargo, 2-0. The pitch, and a high foul fly is out of play behind third base. Iglesias kicking at the dirt in front of the pitching rubber, waiting on the long-legged Camargo to climb back in. Braves putting a bit of suspense into whatever the final outcome of this ball game happens to be. At one time, the Reds had a 5-0 lead. It is 7-4 now with 2 out and the bases loaded in the top of the 9th inning. Camargo windmilling the bat around. And Iglesias sets and delivers. And it's a swing, and the count is 2-2. Iglesias simply played good old-fashioned hardball with that pitch. Elevated it just a tad on the inner part of the plate. Tough pitch for anybody to hit, especially as hard as Iglesias can throw, trying to get on top of that ball, and he was unable to make contact. So now it's a 2-2 count. Runners at first, second, and third. The break-even pitch is ball 3, and he missed badly down and in with that one. Reds an out away from back-to-back wins. 10-4 last night, 7-4 right now. 3-2 to Camargo, with Ender Inciarte waiting on deck. So a big 3-2 pitch about to be delivered. And here it is by Iglesias. And he tops it foul. And the runners moving. All will return to from whence they came. Suzuki to third, Tucker to second, and Swanson to first. Iglesias, new baseball in hand. Very methodical, very deliberate. Knows he needs to nail this thing down with one more out, however he can get it. But he kind of got his back up against the wall, having gone 3-2 to a 167 batter. The pitch. Ball 4, and he walked in a run. It is now 7-5, and the Braves are now a base hit away from tying this game up. That run also will be charged to the departed Amir Garrett. So Iglesias has faced 3 batters, and he's walked 2 of them. And now Inciarte, who has struck out 3 times tonight en route to an 0-for-4 evening. He can change all of that right here with a base hit.
2 for 7 in his matchups with Iglesias.
Tying run at second. Go ahead run at first. 2 out. Inciarte swings and lifts it foul to left and out of play. 0-1. He is the 8th man to bat in the inning. An inning in which the Braves have scored twice, but still trail by 2. Inciarte down a strike, and the pitch to him, and that's a swing and a foul, and the count's 0-2. Tucker Barnhart out of the crouch, off with the mask, now puts it back on. Inciarte 1 foot out, 1 foot into the left-hand batter's box. Now he's back. He's in a hole, 2 strikes and nothing. And Iglesias ready to go again. And a line drive. And it's by Scooter Gennett. And it goes into short right field. And this game is all tied up. Gennett could not handle the low line drive. He tried to play it on the short bounce. It seemed to carry him away from him and die in the wet grass in short right. And 2 runs scored, Tucker and Swanson, and this game is all tied up at 7-7. On to second base goes Camargo. And now Ozzie Albies stands in to bat, and he's 0 for 4 tonight. So credit Enciarte with a 2-run single. And here's a pitch. That's a smash. Diving grab by Joey Votto, and from his knees, he throws to second. The defensive play of the night. That ball goes to right, and the Braves take a lead. Instead, it's a Votto throw to the shortstop, Peraza, and they stop the ninth inning bleeding.
The Braves tied in the top of the ninth, and now the Reds will try to win it, and they'll try to do so off of Shane Carl, a right-handed pitcher who will make his 11th appearance, a 1.20 ERA over 15 innings pitched so far this season.
Facing Jose Peraza to begin the bottom of the ninth inning, and the first pitch is a swing and a miss. So the final pitching line on Amir Garrett, 2 1/3, 4 hits, 3 runs, all earned. He struck out a batter. Carl, tall, lanky right-hander, the 5th pitcher used tonight by the Braves, and that one is fouled off. 0-2 the count. So Dan Winkler does his job. He comes on to work 1 inning, strikes out a batter, walks a batter, and now Shane Carl, C-A-R-L-E, is on the mound for the Atlanta Braves, trying to send this game to a 10th inning. The 0-2 coming. And that's a breaking ball off the plate. 7-10-0 for the Redlegs, 7-8-1 for the Atlanta Braves. They've had 8 hits in this game. They had 4 hits when they scored 3 runs in the 7th. They had 4 hits when they scored 4 runs in the 9th. Foul ball as Peraza hangs in. He's had a couple of hits tonight, 2 singles. He has scored a run. He's stolen a base. Now the 1-2 delivery. And that's in the dirt. So you really have to wonder whether or not having pitched an inning and a third last night had any effect whatsoever on Raisel Iglesias. He certainly did not pitch to instill a lot of confidence when he came on and walked 2 batters and then gave up a hit. They drove in 2 runs, and then before that walked in a run. Here's a 2-2. And that's ball 3.
Yeah, 2 walks in the inning. Nowhere to look but in the mirror.
Nope.
When you're particularly walking a guy like Camargo with the bases juiced.
Sure. Now a big pitch, 3-2 coming. And here's a ground ball, base hit into left field. That's how the 9th inning begins. An excellent at-bat for Jose Peraza, who opens the 9th inning with a single to left, his 3rd knock of the game. And there is a winning run if the Reds can get him around. Now you're probably at home thinking, well, what's he going to have Joey Votto do? What do you think he's going to have him do? He's going to be swinging away.
He's swinging away.
Yeah. 1 hit tonight, but his first home run of the year came in the 5th inning when he went the other way and homered into the lower deck and left. So Peraza aboard, and the pitch to Votto, and Jeoy swings and sends it foul, and out of play to left field, 0-1. So an opportunity here in the bottom of the ninth for the Reds, after allowing the Braves to come back and tie the game up to win it in regulation. The stretch and the pitch by Carl. And Votto takes the ball low. And over at first base, Peraza only getting about a 2 or at the most 3-step lead against Freddie Freeman, who is firmly entrenched on that bag, trying to cut down as much of a lead as he possibly can. Now a little bit bigger lead for the Reds base runner, and that one in the dirt on the throw over, and Freddie Freeman saved Shane Carl a wild throw by knocking it down. So the young righty redirecting his attention back to the plate, where Joey Votto waits on the 1-1 pitch, and a swing and a miss. Carl, 26 years old. He's out of Santa Cruz, California. He was acquired from the Pittsburgh Pirates in January of this year. He finds himself now in the Atlanta bullpen in a very testy ninth inning situation in Cincinnati. Votto taking off the plate, 2-2. Selected by the Pirates in the 2013 draft and the 10th round, acquired by the Rockies from Pittsburgh in 2014. And then the Pirates got him back, claiming him off the waiver wire, and then they traded him to the Atlanta Braves in January. It's a 2-2 pitch that Shane Carl throws to Votto, and it's swung on and hit back into left field. He hit it well, but not well enough. On the warning track, the ball is caught by Preston Tucker, and there's one out. Here's Scooter Gennett. A home run, 2 hits, and a couple of runs batted in tonight. The pitch, nope, a throw on to first base.
Braves outfield playing very deep to try to cut off anything in the gap. Try to cut off an extra base hit and not allow Peraza to score from first.
Call ready and deals, runner going, and the pitch is fouled off, and he had second base stolen. Scooter Gennett was only able to get a piece of the ball, and I mean Peraza had some kind of jump on Shane Carl, and now we'll have to go back.
Lefty Wandy Peralta warming up for the Reds.
He is another pitcher who worked in last night's game, going an inning and 2/3, giving up 3 hits and 2 runs.
But if you're looking ahead, if there's a 10th inning, it's Freeman, Markakis, back-to-back lefties to begin the 10th.
Correct.
If we get there.
Turning the throw over and back is Peraza.
And with Garrett already pitching in this game, Peralta the only other left-hander for Jim Riggleman in the pen.
Gennett waiting on the 1-strike delivery. Jim said the outfield extremely deep. There's a throw over, but the way the right fielder Markakis is playing Gennett, and that is almost straight away right center field. Mm-hmm. If he should get a pitch to pull, you'd have a shot. It would be interesting to see whether or not Billy Hatcher would send Peraza home. Now the 0-1 pitch, and that's taken off the plate for a ball.
Well, if it's straight down the right field line, as far over as the right fielder is playing, I think Peraza with good speed would score easily.
Scooter back in the box, 1-1 the count. Adam Duvall watching from the on-deck circle. We're 7-7 with 1 out and 1 on in the bottom of inning number 9. And that's a strike. The Braves rally with 4 runs in the top of the 9th against Amir Garrett and Raisel Iglesias, who suffers his first blown save of the season. And now this game in the hands of Shane Carl, trying to send it to a 10th. And he's 1 out and 1 on and throwing the 1 and 2 to, a throw on to first, and back in time is Peraza. Brian Snitker has used every one of his hitters should this game go to extra innings, except Carlos Perez, and he's the other catcher. Here's a throw over again. And the Reds in much, much better shape. They've got Schebler, and they have Mesoraco. They've got Goslin. They've got Pennington. But they just as soon end this game right here in the home ninth inning. Carl paying a lot of attention to Peraza now, and that one is fouled away by Gennett. Tyler Mahle was in line to win his second game of the year. That will go down as a no decision. And the 4-run ninth inning for Atlanta gets Brandon McCarthy off the hook. Gennett waiting as a right-hander with a high hole, pitches, and a foul ball. And now the catcher, Suzuki, goes back to the mound to hand-deliver the baseball and have a bit of a conversation with Shane Carl, and that meeting breaks up. So that will go down as another mound visit for the Atlanta Braves. Ninth inning began with Peraza grounding a base hit to left. Votto fly to the warning track in left. Scooter Gennett taps a plate with the bat and waits. Peraza leading. The runner going. The pitch is swung on, grounded to second, and the throw to first will be in time, and they're 2 out. So the Reds started the runner at a perfect time. It advances Peraza into scoring position with Scooter Gennett bouncing out to second baseman Ozzie Albies. And now with 2 down, let's see what Adam Duvall can do about ending this game with one swing of the bat. It has been a quiet night for the Reds left fielder, 0 for 3 before being intentionally walked in the 7th. And takes a strike on the outside corner.
Very liberal outside strike zone for Brian O'Nora.
Ready with a one-strike delivery is Carl. He looks twice back at Peraza. And this one is hit into center field. And this game is going to go to a 10th inning. At the end of 9, and Jim returns for play-by-play call in the 10th inning. It's the Reds 7 and the Atlanta Braves 7 on the Cincinnati Bell Reds Radio Network.
Well, free baseball, as they say, from Great American Ballpark. On to the 10th inning we go. And what has turned out to be a slugfest between the Reds and Braves in Game 2 of this 4-game set. Wandy Peralta, the lefty, in for Jim Riggleman, and he's got some work to do. He will face 3, 4, and 5 in the Braves order. Lefty Freddie Freeman, lefty Markakis, righty Kurt Suzuki. And all Freddie Freeman has done the last 2 times up, he's homered in both trips to the plate. The Reds had a 5-0 lead in this one, only to see the Braves score 3 in the 7th. Reds countered with 2 in the bottom of the 7th, but a 4-run 9th inning does the Reds in. Amir Garrett, Raisel Iglesias combining to give up 4 runs. So here we go in the 10th, tied at 7. First pitch to Freeman is outside for ball 1. Freeman with those back-to-back home runs, that average now up above 300 at 304. Pitch misses outside, 2-0. Votto hugging the line at first. Scooter Gennett on the grass in short right field. Peraza nearly behind second base. 2-0 pitch to Freddie Freeman. Ground ball right at Votto. He doesn't have to move a step. Underhand flip to Peralta. 1 out. They had him played perfectly. Hugging that line at first base, and that's a big out for Peralta. And now the lefty, Nick Markakis. Markakis 1 for 2 tonight. Doubled back in the 7th and scored. He's walked twice. Reds bidding for back-to-back wins for the first time this season. And boy, it looked like they had it in the bag. But credit the Braves coming off the mat with 4 in the 9th. First pitch to Markakis is low and away. Counts 1-0. One for 3 is Markakis off of Peralta in their career matchups. 1-0 pitch. Ball 2. So back-to-back batters. Peralta falls behind. 2 balls and no strikes. A long look in to Barnhart. Now he sets and delivers the 2-0. Inside corner for a strike. Actually low at the knees. 2-1. Still a hitter's count. 2 balls and a strike. Peralta deals, and it's served up into left field, a base hit. So the go-ahead run on first base for the Braves with 1 out. And that'll bring up Kurt Suzuki. Jared Hughes is up in the Reds bullpen, and here comes manager Jim Riggleman, and he goes right to the home plate umpire, which would signal a double switch about to happen. Brian O'Nora writing it down. And again, after Peralta last night went an inning and 2/3 and gave up 2 runs, faces 2 batters here tonight. Gets Freeman on a ground out and gives up a single to Nick Markakis. And Jim Riggleman will take the ball from him, and here comes the sprint in from Jared Hughes. Go-ahead run at first base, and right-handed batter Kurt Suzuki at the plate. Suzuki has homered and singled in this game. It was a 2-run home run back in the 7th. And his single in the 9th resulted in a run scored. First pitch from the righty Hughes is down and away, ball 1. Kurt Suzuki 0 for 2 in his career off of Jared Hughes. Hughes sets, pauses, and delivers the 1-0, and it hit him right in the middle of the back. And now trouble brewing. Go-ahead run in scoring position. Actually, it got him right on the backside. Lower than the back, let's just say. Now Preston Tucker, the left-handed batter, with runners on first and second and 1 out. Hughes, known as a control pitcher, had one get away right there. A look back at the runner at second base, and now the high kick and a deliver, and he delivers a first pitch ball. Reds will shift around to the pull side for Tucker. Blandino, the only defender on the left side. And now Hughes will step off and step back towards second base. Nick Markakis at second. Kurt Suzuki at first. One-0 pitch, swing and a miss. Jared Hughes, the sinker ball pitcher, when he's on, he's inducing ground balls, and he could use one right here and right at a defender. Now Peraza with a 1-1 count will slip barely to the left side of the infield. Deep behind the bag. 1-1 pitch. Swing and a grounder. A chopper to Votto. He fields it. His only play is to step on first on a slow roller. He gets the out at first base, but both runners move up. So now second and third, 2 outs. Hughes trying to get out of the jam. Dansby Swanson standing in his way. Swanson has faced Hughes one time. 0 for 1. And he steps in with a .329 batting average. 1 for 3 here tonight with a walk. First pitch inside. Last time up, he walked and scored one of the 4 ninth inning runs for the Braves. Second and third, 2 outs. 7-7 game. We're in the top of the 10th. 1-0 pitch. Swing and fouled at the plate, and that got home plate umpire Brian O'Nora, and down he goes. Barnhart will check on O'Nora, and O'Nora is going to hands on knees and take a moment. And here comes head athletic trainer Steve Bauman out of the Reds dugout to check on Brian O'Nora, the home plate umpire. Now all the umpires will converge on home plate. That got him so badly that O'Nora left his feet, hit the deck. Bauman will continue his conversation with O'Nora. O'Nora now shaking his head with an affirmation that he's all right, although he's still a little walking around a little gingerly, let's just say. The crowd will give him a round of applause. Hard to tell on the replay, but there's enough smiles out there that it might have got him in a spot, well, the worst spot. Nonetheless, he's got his mask on. Barnhart back in his crouch. And stepping back in the box is Dansby Swanson. The count is 1-1. 2 outs, second and third. Tie game in the 10th. Hughes to the belt. Kicks and fires the 1-1. Swing and a miss. One and two. Dino hugging that line at third base. Peraza playing deep at shortstop. Votto swinging way over towards second base. For the right-handed batting, Dansby Swanson. A 1-2 pitch from Hughes. Down low, 2-2. Go ahead run 90 feet away. And what would be a massive Braves comeback. Two-two pitch. Inside. And we've gone full. Does have an open base at first. And lefty Ryan Flaherty standing in the on-deck circle. Now Hughes will step off the rubber, collect his thoughts. Now he's back on. Swanson back in. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Long look in by Hughes. Now he straightens up and delivers the payoff pitch, and it's fouled. Right side line drive down the right field line that falls foul. And we'll do the 3-2 again. And now Tucker Barnhart will go out and have a conversation with Hughes, which now the home plate umpire keeps track of. That's the 3rd mound visit by the Reds. They have 3 left. Should we go deep into the night? Runners taking their leads from 2nd and 3rd. 3-2 pitch. Here it comes. Breaking ball. Strike 3 called. Hughes strands 2. And the Reds can win it in the bottom of the 10th. We're tied at 7. Bottom of the 10th from Great American Ballpark. Reds and Braves dueling it out. 7-7 game right now. Still on the hill for the Braves is Shane Carl, the righty. And he will get Barnhart, Blandino, and Scott Schebler here in the 10th. Schebler came on defensively in the double switch, which Hughes came into the game. Adam Duvall left the game, and Schebler will hit in the 8th spot. So 6, 7, and 8. Reds can win it here in the bottom of the 10th. Tucker Barnhart, the switch hitter, will hit from the left side. Tucker steps in with a .254 batting average. Righty-lefty matchup, and the first pitch to Tucker in the air, left field, but drifting foul. Barnhart back in the box. Carl delivers the 0-1 pitch, and it misses outside 1-1. Pizza's smelling good over there, Marty. Killing me. That'll be part of the essentials in life for me. 1-1 pitch way out in front is Tucker Barnhart, and a swing and a miss. 1-2. Carl with that high hold, kicks and deals, and misses outside 2-2. Pitch, swing and a miss. And down goes Barnhart for out number 1 here in the bottom of the 10th. And that'll bring up Alex Blandino. Blandino, good night at the plate, 2 for 3. A couple of singles, scored a run, and walked his last time up. A modest 4-game hitting streak now for Blandino. First pitch to Alex is a breaking ball, in for a strike. No one warming up in the Reds bullpen should we go to the top of the 11th. 0-1 pitch, in for another strike. Back-to-back breaking balls. And Blandino in an 0-2 hole. Andino making his 8th start tonight, all at third base. Average up to 226 after a very slow start. Swing and a miss. Back-to-back punch-outs by Shane Carl. 2 outs in the inning, and here comes Scott Schebler. And that 4-man outfield rotation that we've talked about so much this year, it was Schebler who got the seat tonight, despite last night hitting his first home run, a 2-run home run, and an RBI single in the 9th. He scored 3 runs last night, hitting leadoff. But he'll take his first AB of this game. First pitch from the righty Carl. Breaking ball, misses outside. An home run last night was nearly to dead center field. It was a bomb. His 2nd of the season. .1-0 pitch. Outside corner for a strike. And again, another liberal outside strike zone from Honora. One and one. Braves have shifted to the pull side for Schebler. 2 outs in the inning, nobody on. 1-1 pitch, misses outside, 2-1. Billy Hamilton on deck should we get there. Hitters count at 2 balls and a strike. Pitch. Strike called. 2-2. 95-mile-per-hour heater from Shane Carl. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Pitch, swing, and a miss. Boy, he took some off. 80-mile-per-hour off-speed pitch, and Schebler comes up empty.
On we go to the top of the 11th inning, and Jared Hughes, who pitched out of trouble admirably, leaving runners at 2nd and 3rd with a strikeout of Dansby Swanson to end the Atlanta 10th inning threat, now starts from scratch here in the 11th, where he'll get Ryan Flaherty, Johan Camargo batting in the number 9 spot, and then leadoff batter Ender Encearte. Flaherty is 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts tonight. Left-handed batter settles in to kick off inning number 11 for the Atlanta club. And Hughes with the stretch and the pitch. And that's taken down and in for a ball. We've seen tonight Tyler Mahle, Amir Garrett, Raisel Iglesias, Wandy Peralta, and Jared Hughes. The 1-0 pitch. And that misses off the plate ball, too. And the guy they have held back, and he would be the long man in this game if the event that this game becomes a major marathon, would be Dylan Floro, who has pitched very well since coming up from AAA Louisville. Hughes needs a strike and gets it on a high fly ball lifted into left center field. Getting to it and making the catch is Phillip Ervin, 1 out. And now Johan Camargo, and that, for me, was the key batter in the 4-run 9th inning. He comes off the bench to pinch hit. He's had 1 hit this season, and Iglesias ended up walking him to force in a run. That, to me, was the single biggest at-bat of the Atlanta 9th inning. Oh, here he is now with 1 out, nobody on base, and he takes the first pitch strike. Now the 0-1 pitch. And a bouncing ball up the middle, but cut off by the shortstop Peraza, and he'll throw him out easily. 2 down. I can report to all of those folks who have hung with us religiously tonight that Jim Day is in hog heaven. You talk about a guy who can annihilate a pizza. This would be considered a late evening snack for Jim, which is something that he's no stranger to. 2 out now, and Enciarte standing in.
I think it's this chair, because the other guy that sits in this chair.
He's a big fan of late night snacks. 1 ball and no strikes.
I'm going to blame this chair.
That chair might have some magical powers. Mm-hmm. 1-0 the count. 2 out in the top of the 11th inning in a 7-7 game. And Hughes works, and that one is lined into right center field. Base hit. Quickly up with the ball is Schebler. So the 11th continues for the Atlanta Braves, and the batter will be Ozzie Albies with 2 out.
I think this is going to be a pinch hitter, Carlos Perez.
Oh, they're going to utilize Perez now. We mentioned the fact that he was the last available position bat on the bench. And a lot of managers would not go this route. They're using up your catcher in the event that something would happen physically to the guy who's been behind the plate all night long. But obviously Brian Snitker not afraid of it at all. He'll bring Perez off the bat to pinch hit after the 2-out single by Enciarte.
Braves working with a 4-man bench as opposed to the Reds with a 5-man bench.
And Enciarte, or rather Perez batting for the pitcher, batting in the spot formerly occupied by Albies, and Perez, a right-hand batter, takes high, ball 1. Wondering about Perez. He has been up all of 17 times with 3 hits. 3 for 17 on the year, a 176 batter. The time call, a little bit too long in the hold position by Jared Hughes. The Braves are not too far away from getting back their number 1 behind the plate. You'd never know it by the great year that Kurt Suzuki has had so far this season, but Tyler Flowers is their number 1 catcher, not far away, and that would put, I would imagine, Carlos Perez in something of a precarious situation. There's a throw over to first, and Enciarte back. So Shane Carl did an outstanding job for the Atlanta Braves. And they will be dipping into that bullpen one more time in the bottom of the inning. The pitch. And that's taken low for a ball. The count's 2-0. In the bottom of the inning, the Reds will have Hamilton and Urban and Peraza due up. 7 runs, 11 hits for the Redlegs. 7 runs, 10 hits, and 1 error for the Braves. Perez waiting on the 2-0 delivery. And it's on the way, and he takes it, and that's a strike.
Arodys Vizcaíno.
Yep.
Righty warming up for the Braves.
Hughes with the side. And the pause and the pitch. And a swing and a miss, and the count's 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes, trying to get the final out of this Atlanta 11th inning. And he does. A swing and a miss on a good pitch down and away. And Hughes punches out Perez. And the Reds will come to bat in the bottom of the 11th with this game still tied at 7-7.
And you look up and down this Braves bullpen and the ERAs that Brian Snitker can bring into this game. This will be 11th appearance for Vizcaíno on a 1.86 ERA.
The only number negatively that jumps out at you is he's walked 7 batters in the innings in which he's pitched. And so you don't want to go up there and swing at balls out of the zone and make it easy on a guy who can have command problems. Hamilton has had an infield single to knock in a run. He's 1 for 4. And he's a leadoff batter here in the bottom of the 11th inning. Up on the grass at third, Ryan Flaherty. Ditto for Freddie Freeman at first, and the pitch is taken, ball 1. Excellent job by Shane Carl. 2 innings, 1 hit, 3 strikeouts. Gave up a leadoff single to Peraza in the ninth and proceeded to retire 6 in a row. There's a strike, 1-1. And it's way outside. Billy jumps ahead in the count. You could put some pressure on this Atlanta team now if Hamilton can get on, leading off the inning as he is. Phillip Ervin waiting in the on-deck circle. Hamilton ahead in the count, 2 balls and 1 strike. And Vizcaino has him swinging and missing, and it's 2-2. The right-hander with a motion on the mound to the plate. And a tapper hit to second rather. And a quick toss by the second baseman and a nice play by Johan Camargo. He had to give it up in one sweeping motion, and that he did to the waiting Freddie Freeman to retire the speedy Billy Hamilton. 1 out. Here's Phillip Ervin. Came on as a pinch runner in the 7th inning. Batted and flied to left in the 8th. So he's up for the second time with 1 down here in the 11th inning of a tie game, and it's ball 1 outside. This is the second extra inning game the Reds have played this season. The pitch, and that's ball 2. Vizcaino, 27 years old. He's out of the Dominican Republic, and he's been playing professionally since 2008. Pitched briefly with the Braves for the first time. Here's a foul ball back in 2011. Got into 17 games, then went to the Cubs organization. Pitched out of the bullpen for 5 games in 2014. Bounced back into the Atlanta organization and got into 62 games last year, saved 14 of them, and had a 5-3 record. High fly ball, hit back into right field. Hit it well, but not good enough as the catch is made on the warning track by Markakis, and they're 2 out. Jose Peraza looking for his 4th hit of the game.
There's no one warming up in the Reds' pen unless there's someone off screen. Looks like Jared Hughes, if we get to the 12th, will be facing the heart of the order.
And he's facing a part of the order in the 12th inning, if we go there, that has done big-time damage in this game tonight. And in this series, as a matter of fact. Freeman and Markakis. Markakis 3 RBIs, including a solo home run last night. Here's a pitch, and that's taken for a ball. The count is 1-1 on Peraza.
Hughes has already worked an inning and 2/3 in this game. Just 24 pitches.
Mm-hmm. That's very good.
Mm-hmm.
Very good. 1-1 delivery. That's down and away, ball 2. I would imagine Vizcaino would just as soon retire Peraza here and not have to face Jeoy Votto with a runner aboard in a tie game such as this. And that is going to be the final out of the 11th for the Reds. Markakis moves to right center to make the catch. And now Jared Hughes will come on in the 12th inning.
And we shall pause for ID here on the Cincinnati Bell Reds Radio Network.
Members of council agree to increase funding for the emergency call center and the Ohio Supreme Court hearing arguments about state funding cuts for cities that use traffic cameras. Get the latest after the game on the home of the Reds, News Radio 700 WLW Cincinnati.
12th inning from Great American Ballpark. We are tied at 7, Reds and Braves. And Jared Hughes, indeed, still on the hill. And he will face the heart of the order, Freddie Freeman at the dish. Left-handed batter, and the first pitch to Freeman is a swing and a miss. Freeman, Markakis, Suzuki. Actually, it won't be Suzuki. But Freddie Freeman has done some damage tonight. 2 home runs in this one as he looks at one outside. Once again, the Reds will shift around to Freeman's pull side, and this one's way inside. And the count's 2 balls and a strike. Freeman has faced Jared Hughes 3 times in his career, 0 for 3. A swing and a miss. Out in front was Freeman. As he was bidding to send the Braves in front with 1 swing of the bat. The count evens up at 2-2. Hughes working quickly. Here comes the 2-2 pitch, and it's a grounder right side. Charging is the second baseman, Gennett. Underhand flip to Votto, 1 out. Now Nick Markakis. If you're just joining us, the Reds had a 5-0 lead in this one. And saw it slowly slip away, and then slip away big time with a 4-run 9th inning by the Braves. As they sent 9 men to the plate. And the Reds had a chance to make a couple of plays in that inning, which would have turned things around. They did not. The Braves had new life and sent it to extra innings as Markakis bounces one foul right side. Tyler Mahle started this one 6+ innings, and the first 6 were brilliant. Hitless innings. Then in the 7th, boy, he hit the wall in a hurry. Home run, double home run. This one outside, and the count's 1-1. Mahle 6+, 3 earned runs. Amir Garrett 2 1/3, 3 earned runs. Iglesias a blown save tonight, an earned run. Peralta worked a third of an inning scoreless, and now Jared Hughes. And here's a tapper right side, again foul. One and 2 the count to Nick Markakis. The righty, Jared Hughes, straightens up, sets, and delivers the 1-2 pitch, and it misses outside. .33 pitches now for Jared Hughes. 2-2. Just misses outside. Full count. Payoff pitch on the way. Swing and a grounder. Votto backs, fields it, slips, but underhands it to Hughes, who has a trouble stepping on the bag, but he just gets it, and we're going to have to check Jared Hughes. That was an awkward step onto the base. Looks like he's okay. 2 outs in the inning. And ground ball backed up Votto, who slipped initially, but recovered. Delivered the underhand toss to Hughes, who had trouble finding the bag, but finally found it for the second out. And we might have a review on this one. And we are. Brian O'Nora, the home plate umpire, will call in crew chief Fielden Culbreth from first base, and we're going to take a look at this one. The Barbasol Close Shave Manager Review is brought to you by Barbasol Razors. Barbasol making razors. Well, that's a no-brainer. Try the new Barbasol Ultra 6 Plus today. question is going to be, did Hughes catch the corner of the bag with his initial step? As I mentioned, Votto slipped a little bit, which got Hughes off on his steps. So Hughes had to reach back to the first base bag, and it looks like he got it on his first attempt with the side of his right foot. And out is the call. That was a quick review. So nice job by Hughes, a presence of mind to slow himself down enough and reach out the right part of his foot and barely caught the bag. 1 minute, 5 second review. Just like we like it. 2 outs. Here's Kurt Suzuki. Swing and a miss. Took some off at 86. Suzuki, a couple of hits tonight, including his 4th home run of the season, a 2-run job back in the 7th. Singled and scored in the 9th. Here's a rip to left field and a base hit. Over to field it is Irvin, and the go-ahead run is on first base with 2 outs. And that'll bring up left fielder Preston Tucker. A left-handed batter, Tucker. 1 for 5 tonight. 3 ground outs, a strikeout, and doubled in the 9th and scored one of the 4 Braves runs in that 9th inning. First pitch up and away for ball 1. We're in the top of the 12th. 7-7 game. And game 2 of this 4-game set. 1-0 pitch. Fouled back off of Barnhart. Count evens up at 1-1. Peraza, the shortstop, playing nearly directly behind second base. Scooter Gennett, the second baseman, a couple of steps on the grass in short right field. Votto holding the runner on first, and here comes the 1-1 pitch, and it's outside for ball 2. Blandino, the third baseman, playing where the shortstop would normally play. Two-one pitch to Preston Tucker, and it's ripped down the right field line, but foul. Well, he got a bunch of that one, but it was out in front. And a long strike. Counts 2-2. Austin Bryce, right-hander, warming up in the Reds bullpen. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runner at first base. Hughes sets and delivers the 2-2, and it's in the air left side. Blandino in fair territory, gloves it for out number 3. Hughes strands a runner. Off to the bottom of the 12th we go in a 7-7 game. Votto, Gennett, Duvall. 7th pitcher of the night for Brian Snitker. Tied at 7. Votto delivered his first home run of the season back in the 5th. Last season in 9 games, a 3.81 ERA from Max Fried. Lefty delivers a first pitch strike, a fastball on the outside corner to Votto. Wind up and the 0-1 pitch. Outside 1-1. Freddie Freeman hugging the line at first. second baseman way out in short right field. Shortstop Dansby Swanson also playing on the right side of the infield against Votto. 1-1 pitch, up and in. 2-1. The pitch. 3-1. Votto staring down a 3-1 pitch, and here it comes from Fried, and it misses outside, and a leadoff walk for the Reds. Winning run at first base. And that'll bring up Scooter Gennett.
You bunt here?
Probably not.
I would most definitely bunt.
Well, Gennett laid down a suicide squeeze bunt earlier in this game, and it was a beauty as he looks at a first pitch strike. Although, I will say, with Votto's lack of speed at first base, it's going to take 2 hits to get him home. So to move him on to second base might not be a bad call. But Gennett looked at a first pitch strike, and here comes pitch number 2 to Gennett, and this hits the outside corner with a fastball, and Gennett in an 0-2 hole. Phil Goslin on deck. 0-2 pitch to Gennett, way outside and blocked by Suzuki.
I just heard from my good friend Michael Bendon, who lives in Kansas City and who is a dyed-in-the-wool Reds fan. And he said to let you know that the Alfred E. Newman lookalike is a guy who at one time you considered to be your mentor, and that would be Ted Koppel.
You know, he's dead on right there. We used to say that all the time about Ted Koppel. One-two pitch in the air, right field, hit well.
Get out.
Looking up, and that bad boy is gone. Walking off, Scooter Gennett. Scooter Gennett delivers a 2-run home run here in the bottom of the 12th, and for the first time this season, the Reds are winners in back-to-back games. A gathering at home plate, and the winning bounce as Scooter Gennett touches them all. And the Reds have taken the first 2 games of this 4-game set against the Braves. So Scooter Gennett, a 2-home run night, and he's your hero as the Reds walk it off at Great American Ballpark. We'll be back in just a minute.
Well, it's over with one swing of the bat. Scooter Gennett with a 2-run homer in the bottom of the 12th inning off of Max Fried to give the Reds a 9-7 victory, the first time they won back-to-back games this season, as they now start to show some semblance of positive momentum, even though it looked like they were going to have a devastating night after the Braves came back to score 4 times in the 9th inning to tie the game up at 7-7, and it remained that way until Gennett's game-winning home run, his second home run of the night. 9 runs, 12 hits, no errors, and 7 men left on for Cincinnati. While the Braves had 7 runs, 11 hits, they committed 1 error, and they left 8. The winning pitcher was Hughes, his first in a Reds uniform after back-to-back losses. And Fried, as Jim mentioned earlier, just up from their AAA farm